What's up, everyone? How's it going? We're here with our pre-E3 EA coverage. We will be joined by others. Victoria will be joining us eventually. I don't know when. Looks like she's running a bit late, but until then, I will keep you company. So how's it going? How's it going, Internet? You doing well today? You doing okay? So yeah, we're going to be talking about our predictions before the show starts. Talk a little bit about what happened last year. See if EA can really do a bang-up job this year. I think they have a good setup here because they talked about all these different Star Wars games last year, but they didn't really specify what they are. You know, from the different developers, they just said which developers are working on different games. So, of course, they talked about Visceral Games working on an unspecified project. So we could see Visceral Games Star Wars game today. Motive Studios, which is a developer founded by the former Assassin's Creed executive director. That is likely going to be related to Star Wars Battlefront 2, more than likely. So hopefully we'll see more about Star Wars Battlefront 2 from Motive Studios. Criterion, of course, was shown last year. They were dealing with that Star Wars VR experience. We're likely not going to see much from BioWare. They're still working on the Old Republic content. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy like KOTOR 3 or, you know, KOTOR remade or something like that. We know that Respawn Entertainment's working on something. So Respawn Entertainment are the developers behind the Titanfall series. Titanfall 1 did not do particularly well. Titanfall 2 did marginally better. Didn't really do that well, but I've heard great things about Titanfall 2, so I am excited. It's from the same some of the same key members that worked on the Call of Duty franchise back when Modern Warfare came out, Modern Warfare 2. So we could see a lot from them, and that would be really cool. I'd be interested in seeing a maybe Call of Duty-esque Star Wars game. So that could be cool. And then I don't necessarily care about it, but some people enjoy Galaxy of Heroes. That's developed by Capital Games. They will be working on if there might be more content for that. I don't have any experience though with that, so. And of course, DICE. We know that DICE is exclusively working on something related to VR or expanding upon VR in the VR market, and they're working with Criterion on that. So DICE, of course, is also developing the VR experience will be related to Battlefront, more than likely. So will there be any surprises? Maybe we can see a remake or something related to Star Wars 1313, something that was redeveloped from that. I heard that the assets were kept for that game, so it's possible we could see something along the lines of the now dead Star Wars 1313, which was, I think, shown back in That was E3 2014, I think, if I remember correctly. So that could be really cool. Obviously, they're going to be showing probably some sort of clip reel of their sports franchise, Madden. I'd be really surprised if we don't see something about Madden, something about FIFA. FIFA is, of course, really popular with people in America, but more popular with Europe. So they see a lot of sales out of Europe for their FIFA franchise. And of course, Madden does fairly well here, and so does NCAA football. Hopefully, we don't have any long, dragged out portions related to something like their basketball franchise or anything like that. They did that a few years ago, and it just really bogged down their conference. If they can keep it more in line with what Sony does the last year or two, and they just focus on the games and they focus on the hype for those games, likely we can see EA being quite successful this year with their press conference. So that would be cool. Currently trying to find something. There was an article I read the other day about EA's promises from last year, so to speak. And that was on Kotaku. But maybe I'm thinking, maybe they did everything except for, they did Microsoft and Sony. Did they do one for...
Hello?
Did they do one for EA? And hey, Victoria, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
We're doing fine. We just got started 7 minutes ago. We're talking a little bit about EA's conference and what we might be able to expect here in 20 minutes. Let me get you on screen. So let's go to Skype, and I will Skype with you. I sent you a link to the YouTube page for EA's source feed. I think that would be better than me streaming it to you myself. So you can just watch along on there and give your live reactions with us.
Alrighty.
Yep, they're doing the countdown now. So 22 minutes until you can see people filing in now to the conference hall. Let's let's Skype here. Get you pulled in here. There you are. And
Sup party people?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think this could be the year of Star Wars if we are super lucky. Let me pull you into here. You need be entertaining for me for just a moment while I do this.
Woo! Go EA! Especially considering that EA stands for yeah.
You know, EA has been. I think EA has done really well over the last 2 or 3 years. I think since they got what's his name, Peter something. I need to look him up. His name's Peter something. I think he's high up in charge of EA, and he has turned the company around. I think he just left, actually. Now that I think about it, I think he just left EA, which means EA might go to the shitter again. We don't know.
Well, I thought that that they had some person that was a real asshole. Let's see. CEO is Andrew Wilson.
I'm not thinking of Andrew Wilson. I'm thinking of Peter something. His name's Peter something.
Let's see.
I think he's in charge of Europe's branch of EA, and he's always the public figure. Like, you know how Shuhei Yoshida is like the public figure of Sony, even though Shuhei is not actually high up in Sony in terms of like being CEO level or something like that. He is really high up there, but he's like the public face of Sony. This guy is the public face of EA. I think since he has been involved.
Peter Moore.
Peter Moore, yeah. I don't think he. Okay. I think he just left EA though, didn't he? Didn't Peter Moore just now leave EA? If I'm not mistaken.
Let's see.
I'm having such difficulty actually getting your Skype
Well, it
to show
says
up.
here that Peter Moore is he heads the competitive gaming division, which focuses on
Competitive
creating
gaming.
competitive gaming experience and organizing esports events.
Cool.
Um, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he has been the public face of EA for a while now, and I think like ever since he's been involved
Holy
and everything,
shit.
it seems like they've done a really good like. First of all, let me back up. This whole thing with EA years ago being consistently ranked as the top worst company in America year after year after year, that's complete BS. I mean, you're talking about competing against people like Bank of America and companies that actually ruin lives. Like your video games don't ruin lives. I'm sorry, people. I hate to tell you, it doesn't ruin lives.
Well, Jacob, if you were a real gamer, you would be more angry about the.
Oh, but anyways, let's.
You just don't understand.
I just don't understand like these people and their video games. No, I'm kidding. What the? Where are you? Where's me? Holy crap! I'm already fucking everything up. How did this even happen? Oh god. Oh, this is just miserable. Oh shit. Okay. Gotta make you smaller now. Oh,
What are
okay.
you doing, Jacob?
All right, so we're back. We're all together now. Okay, good. So let's
Yay!
talk about Star Wars. I want to do some predictions here before it starts, but I don't want any BS
On.
predictions. Nothing like, oh yeah, they're gonna show Madden, or they're gonna they're
Yay!
or no BS no BS predictions. They need to be like legitimately iffy predictions. Okay. So, but before we get to that, be thinking about predictions. But before we get to that, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier for anyone who's just showing up or for Victoria so she can hear. We're talking about the Star Wars games. Last year, EA showed a lot of companies working on Star Wars games, but did not show any of the actual fucking games. So that's why I think this might be the year of Star Wars. We might see a ton of Star Wars games that we didn't get a chance to see last year. We know that Visceral Games is working on an unspecified project. Visceral Games are the people behind Dead Space, Battlefield Hardline. Right now, some of the people that are working on the game are former Uncharted directors Amy Hennig, and ex-Assassin's
Oh,
Creed series
cool.
director Jade Raymond. So we could see a really cool Star Wars game from Visceral, and I think Visceral's made some pretty quality products in the past. Motive Studios is working on a project related to Battlefront. We know that they are working on some extent Battlefront 2, and we've seen a little bit of Battlefront 2, right? Last few months we've seen trickling trailers and information about Battlefront 2, so I think we'll see more about that for sure. Criterion Games, obviously the people behind Burnout and the Need for Speed franchise, they are currently co-working on a VR experience using the Battlefront engine with DICE. So DICE and Criterion are both working on some sort of VR experience for Star Wars, and I think that's going to be fucking rad.
The
Um,
Battlefront engine being Frostbite 2, I believe.
yeah, I think is it Frostbite 2 or did they jump to Frostbite 3 yet? I don't remember.
Oh,
BioWare. We might see something from BioWare. Likely, the only thing that they're working on is more Old Republic content, which at this point might be a dying game. I'm not sure. I want, if I were to give like a prediction that would be really out there, I would say, hey everyone, we're doing a KOTOR remake. Like it's gonna be Knights of the Old Republic all over again. And I think that would like set the room on fire. I don't think that's gonna happen though. That's just too far out there right now. They're still working on the Old Republic. They're still making it not a dying game. We know that Respawn Entertainment is working on a Star Wars game. This is an unspecified third-person game. My prediction for Respawn's game is that it uses the assets of Star Wars 1313. Do you remember Star Wars 1313, like 3 or 4 years ago, where they talked about it?
vaguely, very, very vaguely.
It was a in the Star Wars community, it was a super hype game. Like people were like, you're playing as like a Han Solo type bounty hunter type character. You're going down the levels of Coruscant down to level 1313. That's what sort of like the gist of the game was, and it was a super awesome looking third person, Uncharted style Star Wars game. And that was super cool. So we might, if Respawn's game is shown tonight, it might be the successor to Star Wars 1313, because Star Wars 1313 got canceled when LucasArts and when Disney acquired Star Wars and when LucasArts went under. That's when we lost Star Wars 1313.
I really don't see why people like with the FIFA and Madden, like what is the big surprise there? Like it's just there's like 5 more pixels. Great.
Well, we'll get to my prediction. I'm gonna have a prediction on that, and I'll get to that in a moment. Real quick, we got a couple more Star Wars companies. Capital Games made Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That's the phone, Android, iOS game. I don't have any experience with it. I think it sucks, but that's my opinion. Your opinion might be that you like it. I'm not big on phone games though, so whatever.
Yeah, I never play a game on my phone. I just read Reddit and Facebook.
Yeah, and we know that. What did I say earlier? We know that. We know that Motive Studios is working on Battlefront 2, so DICE themselves are co-working with Criterion once again on a VR experience. So I'll probably see something about that tonight. With the sports franchise, yeah, there are a lot of people who care. I know we don't. You and I are not big like sports games fans. There are huge, like, especially FIFA. FIFA is ginormous in Europe, and Madden is huge here in the States. So, if I have to give a legitimate prediction for that's something related to sports, I would say that we might finally see EA do the same thing that Square Enix has decided to do recently in their recent reports. They might decide to finally do sports as a service instead of sports as a product. We might finally see like Madden as you pay $100 a year, you get Madden for the whole year, and you get an updated version of the game every single year automatically. Something like that.
Just like watching this on YouTube, I just have to like point this out. Like gamers, like here we are, like watching like a whole bunch of people like present gaming stuff, and the people who are commenting, it's like, I mean, you can't get any more stereotypical
because the dicks and the swastikas.
Yeah, it's like, why do they insist on being absolute morons at every chance that, like,
they're not perpetuating the good qualities of what gamers actually seem to be nowadays. It's the vocal minority thing, right? We're gonna have 2 assholes who are super loud and obnoxious, and those 2 assholes are going to be what people see representing us. And
I guess that's like the only cool thing that you can do if you're like 7 years old nowadays is post a swastika on a YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my god, your father is going to be very disappointed in you, Jimmy.
I know, right?
Okay, sorry. I just had to say something about that. It was really
I don't. Did you hear about Square Enix? Did you hear that they are? That's why they let go. They let. It's funny because they let go of Hitman's franchise, Hitman's developers, IO Interactive, and they also let them have that franchise. Yeah, IO Interactive is no longer with Square Enix as a publisher, but they did keep the Hitman franchise, so we will likely see another IO Hitman game. I don't know why they did that, considering Hitman was the game as a service, right? It's that model of, we're going to release it, it's episodic, you're going to keep getting content. That game is still updated today. You're getting new Hitman contracts, new like special contracts. That I love that game. Like, I think that maybe I would be okay if we had less games, if the games were provided as a service, right? So like you pay $60, you get the game as a service, and it is constantly like that game lasts 3 years or 2 years, right? Like rather than 10 billion. Like look at all the games that are coming out right now. I don't have time to play them all. Nobody has time to play all the games. Like this has been the best year for games, and I still haven't played like 3 of them. Okay, 3 or 4 of them. Even though like I have a lot of time for games, but I still haven't played like 3 or 4 of them. Most people haven't played half of them. So, like, I know there are people in the gaming industry that are like, I still haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. Why the hell have you not played Horizon Zero Dawn? It's one of the greatest games of the year. But no, like, there's no, or Zelda, there's no time. And so, there's a lot of companies like Square Enix that have come forward in the last couple months, and they've been like, Square Enix is like, we're going to make less games, and we're going to provide those games as a service so that our developers focus on that game for a period of like a year and a half, 2 years, rather than, what is it, the 6-month cycle right now, right? You buy a season pass, you get maybe 6 months of content, and the game just dies off after that, right? The community dies off after that because the developers have basically abandoned it after 6 to 8 months. And that's what happens with Call of Duty, right? We get a yearly iteration of Call of Duty, we get a yearly iteration of Battlefield, but the games aren't supported by the community or the developers after the new game has been announced because they are immediately working on the next thing. So Square Enix came out and they said, we're going to make all of our games more as a service. And I think that's awesome. And I think it's really weird that they got rid of Hitman developer IO Interactive after just before saying that, considering they said that Hitman didn't perform to their expectations, which is weird, because I thought everyone that I knew loved that game, but I don't know,
well,
maybe it didn't sell as well.
I guess it didn't. I guess I could check that out. It's Hitman Absolution, right?
No, it's just Hitman 2016.
Oh.
It's just Hitman 2016. Yeah, they did that bullshit thing of let's just drop the numbers and titles and just recall it the same damn thing again.
Oh, on Steam, it's only a 7 out of 10.
I don't know why. It's a fucking amazing game, but
let's see.
But anyway,
release. Oh, okay, but it was chosen as best game of 2016 by Giant Bomb.
Yeah, there's a lot of sites that love that game, so I don't know why. Bringing it back to EA, do you have, like, are there any, like, if you had to make a prediction that wasn't an obvious BS prediction, like, we're gonna get mad in 2017 or something like that, well, what kind of prediction might you go with?
For EA?
Yeah. My prediction is we're going to see all those Star Wars games from those companies that I just mentioned. But on top of it, if I wanted to give a more out there prediction, I'm going to say that they're going to do their sports as a service. They might fall in line with the sports as a service model.
I suppose maybe having Need for Speed be kind of revitalized, maybe, like taking it into a new direction.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that, I mean, Criterion, what was it, Criterion? Yeah, Criterion, the people behind Burnout, took over for Need for Speed and made 2 games already. Do you think that you're talking about maybe taking it in a new direction beyond what even Criterion did with it? Because it wasn't really new, right? They did Need for Speed Hot Pursuit all over again, and they did Need for Speed Most Wanted all over again with Criterion.
Yeah. I had kind of forgotten about this, but you know Aaron Paul, the guy from Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
He was in a Need for Speed movie in 2014.
Oh, Lord. I forgot.
Yeah.
Really?
It looks pretty bad.
Seriously?
Uh-huh. It's got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh,
yeah, but, well, I haven't actually seen, like, what the most recent Need for Speed is like. If it's like
Most
Forza
Wanted is
or
It's still arcadey. No, it's less like Forza. It's still arcadey, just like it used to be. I haven't played either of the new ones either, but they did Hot Pursuit first, and then Criterion did Most Wanted, and that you're right. We haven't seen a Need for Speed game in 2 or 3 years. I think it was 2 years ago that Most Wanted came out, and they already had a game called Most Wanted, and they already had a game called Hot Pursuit, but that was under a different studio. That wasn't under Criterion. I don't know though. Like, I don't know if I want them to stray away from arcade, but it could be cool if they found a way to make it more community focused or something like that, right? Because wasn't their Burnout franchise, that was very community focused. Remember Burnout Paradise? Like, that was very much like, oh yeah, you can go along this entire city with all these people. It wasn't as concise as I would have liked, but I don't know. It was just a little out there. So you think we'll see a Need for Speed game, and it'll be somehow different than... Because Criterion is working on, well, like I said, a VR experience for Battlefront. I don't know who would be making a Need for Speed game. You think it'd be a different studio then? Something that, like, maybe EA pushed another developer onto it?
Well, I guess I was just speaking from, projecting my own sort of wishes. Like, I would really love, like, a racing game that was, like, Burnout Takedown. Because that was, like, one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had.
We could see, a new Burnout game would be awesome. That's also like arcadey, right? That's very arcadey. It's not like Forza. When I call I would say Forza's in the same class as maybe. It's not quite as realistic as what do you call it? What's Sony's first party franchise? Gran Turismo, yeah. It's not the same level as Gran Turismo in terms of its realisticness, but I do think that Forza is still kind of... It's not as arcadey as Need for Speed for sure. It's somewhere in the middle. I never played a Forza game because they've all been on Microsoft consoles, and I've never had a Microsoft console, but they look awesome. Like, I would love to play a Forza game. But I am also, so you know, we are recording this for various reasons, so we're streaming and recording this. It'll be up on our video on demands on YouTube and on Twitch, but I'm also recording it for our own purposes later. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I think
stream brought to you by Subway.
This stream not brought to you by Subway. No, no. EA didn't do the best last year. I think they might have learned though. We might see an EA this year that's more like Sony last year. If they come out and they're just like game, you know, I think it could be a lot better. We know from the past few years that the press and gamers as a whole don't really like the whole business speak as much, right? And I think that's why we have GDC, right? Game developers, the Game Developers Conference, GDC, is more for those, like, is more for the stockholders, right? That's more like showing off those kind of things. They still have to do that here because otherwise their stocks are going to fall because they're a publicly traded company, yada, yada, yada. But if they can mitigate that with just punches in our hypothetical faces, you know, like just knockouts on every single game that comes out on their screen. I think it'll be a successful conference for them. They just need to...
I wish that they were streaming this in something in 1080.
No, like, it's 720. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Oh well.
So I'm fixing our audio with the audio of the conference. We're gonna try, everyone, to be a little quiet during the conference. Any reactions we give will mostly be afterwards. I'll be taking notes. Oh, it's starting. Yeah, I'll be taking notes during the conference, and we'll try to keep our reactions minimal during the actual show.
Yeah, so we'll try not to be like, oh my god!
I might fangirl a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I might fangirl a little bit. I need to pull out the notes program, so give me just a moment here so I can take notes of everything. Alright, yeah, I'll be taking notes during the conference so we can have something to go off of once it's over. Why'd they stop the timer? Like, what the heck? They looked like they were gonna start. Like somebody jumped the gun.
Yeah, they did start, didn't they?
Okay, here we go. Here's the sizzle reel.
Smexy.
I love how everyone does a sizzle reel now. Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Oh, okay, the timer's still going. Thank God. What? What is this?
That's a sizzle reel.
No, it's gone to these guys
Oh,
playing band.
Oh, are you you might, for some reason, your stream might be ahead of mine.
Oh, really?
What happened to their audio? Why is their audio so bad?
Well, have you got to that part where the guys are
playing bass drums? The bass drums. Yeah, it's like yeah. I just saw the bass drum.
Oh, a story. That story mode looks pretty cool.
Let me ask you something. Why are you here? Because football's my life. My father used to say, when the world knocks you down,
who's that actor?
get back up again.
I know that actor.
That's
at the line for the final play of the game. It's the biggest moment of your life. Let's go out there and prove to the world that we belong.
Sorry about the skip, everyone. I refreshed the page, so we missed a tiny bit, but now we should be more in line with everyone else.
Round of applause for the drum line, guys.
okay. Yeah, the drum line. That's right.
That's Madden like you've never seen it. And I might be biased, but I'm pretty sure that's the most innovative Madden we've done in well over a decade. Welcome to EA Play 2017, coming to you from the Hollywood Palladium. This is our second year at EA Play. Last year we went out on a limb, tried to do something a little different with a view to changing the way you interact with products before they launch. We wanted to do something that put the games in your hands earlier, and it showed us how much further we can go. As you can see, we've built a creative space here. We're right in the middle of it. This is going to be where it all goes down over the next 3 days, playing, creating, and sharing with the rest of the world. We've built it this way for a very simple reason. We want more of you to be able to experience this moment. For thousands of you in Hollywood this week, we have hundreds of stations for hands-on gameplay. And for tens of millions of you out there joining online from across the world, you won't hear
There's
it
128,000 people
You'll
watching.
hear it from players, right here.
Yeah.
They're here to see new things, to ask questions, to challenge us, to tell us what they like, and especially what they don't. They're going to connect with
That's
each
what
other
gamers are good at.
and create
Telling people what they
content.
don't like, yeah.
And of course, they're going to play as many games as they possibly can. So let's set the stage for what we'll do over the next hour and a bit. We're going to go deep into 8 new experiences, each with major reveals, massive innovation, and stories that'll pull you in. 2 years ago, we launched Star Wars Battlefront, and we got a lot of feedback. A lot of it positive, and a bunch of it constructive. That's a euphemism for not as positive.
Yeah.
So today we're going to bring you 30 minutes of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And what we hope you'll see is that we've addressed all
Are they
of the
spending 30
feedback
minutes on Star Wars Battlefront
and
2?
gone even further. We've got a mix of everything here for you. A look at new IP, some killer new trailers, demos, and a bunch of live gameplay. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Don't spend 30 minutes on that, EA.
Because we're all here for one simple reason. All of us share one fundamental belief, and that's that games are the best form of entertainment on the planet. Yeah!
Yeah!
They connect us like nothing else. They bring us together across cities and countries. They inspire us. They ignite the fires of competition inside us. Games allow us to do extraordinary things and to be extraordinary in our own ways. Games enable us to be our most creative selves, whether that's as game makers trying to pioneer new ways to play, or players making each game a unique expression of our own passion for what we do. Games put the power of play in our hands, to do with it what we want and to make it our own. So let's celebrate. For the next 3 days, we're here to celebrate play with all of you. And what better place to start than with a game that has taken the world by storm, Battlefield 1. There's more than 20 million Battlefield 1
I love Battlefield 1, by the
today,
way.
and we've got a
Great
lot
game.
to share about a revolution that's coming to this great franchise. So let's jump to Battlefield right from the creative heart of EA Play.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Galata, producer for Battlefield 1 at our DICE studio right here in LA. I'm standing inside the Creator Cave at EA Play, where our community is creating new content to share with players across the globe.
They just really want those hashtags to trend, don't they?
Rewarding to see more than 20 million players embracing the game, crafting their own memorable moments, only possible in Battlefield 1. Let's take a look.
So we are getting more Battlefield. They're not giving us a whole nother Battlefield game.
Okay. What is it about the Battlefield franchise that's so special and appealing to you?
The thing I find special about Battlefield is teamwork. I'm not good at shooting. Sometimes I like to repair, or heal, or hide.
That's me. I'm not good at shooting.
Oh, I just shot an airplane out with the game bullet! I'm most definitely proud to be a part of the Battlefield community. I've never been a part of any other gaming community where people are just so passionate about their games.
Everyone in this community is focusing on making this game
Oh,
as
so they
best
got
as
a whole
it
bunch
can
of
be,
Twitch
and
streamers.
expanding on the experiences that we've already had.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Was mich an Battlefield begeistert, ist die schiere Bandbreite an Dingen, die ich in diesem Spiel tun kann.
Player versus tank versus plane versus environment.
My most memorable moments is what I do with my community. A 64-man army that just does massive, crazy things.
I have made so many amazing friends who have become more like family.
It's something that brought a whole lot of people together who will squad up and go and tear it up.
Boom! You got it? Oh, I killed them all!
Oh, it's Funhouse.
Oh, got a roadkill! I'll never be able to do that again in my life! I'll never be able to do that again in my life! Never, ever. That's it. That's as good as it gets. I should just stop playing. I should quit.
He just disabled a moving truck with a grenade while jumping off a horse. Incredible. We love these only in Battlefield moments, and we want even more of them. So we're bringing more ways for you to play. First, Night Maps debut this summer. In Neville Nights and Prise de Terreur, you'll need to deploy tactics as you fight through the night in a massive network of trenches. Second, I'm excited to announce a major revolution in Battlefield 1. We're bringing epic battles to the Eastern Front of World War I. In the Name of the Tsar expands Battlefield 1 to the blistering winter in the East. This is the biggest front of World War I. And with it, we're bringing you 6 new maps, the Russian army, including the mighty Hussar cavalry, new vehicles and weapons to expand your arsenal, and the iconic Women's Battalion of Death. Finally, we're introducing a richer gameplay experience in both progression and operations mode. By bringing deeper player progression through all new assignments, the ability to tailor your playstyle with specializations, and new multi-battle experiences woven through the fan-favorite game mode operations. All of this coming in September as part of In the Name of the Tsar. And for the next 3 days, the Lupkow Pass map from In the Name of the Tsar is right here at EA Play. For those of you tuning in, you'll get a glimpse of it from these guys when they share it on their channels very soon. So there you have it, 8 new maps in total, opening up the largest front in World War I with new ways to play. There's never been a better time to be part of the Battlefield community. Now enough of me. Let's give you a first look at In the Name of the Tsar. A revolution is coming.
So we are not getting a new Battlefront game this year, or Battlefield game this year. They're still supporting the original game. That's pretty cool.
Услышишь гром и вспомнишь обо мне. Полоска неба будет твердо алой, а сердце будет, как тогда. В огне.
Looks pretty cool. Not super exciting.
Really enjoyed
but
that javelin.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I have the privilege of leading our global development teams. 6,000 of the most creative people making truly amazing experiences, including Battlefield 1. Now this summer is going to be huge. So much new content, so much more to play, and so many new ways to play. And there's one more thing we'll bring to Battlefield. Later this year, we're going to give you a new competitive Battlefield experience. We've heard you. You want a smaller, tighter experience focused on team play. You want all-out war built for competition. And you want it accessible to players and to viewers. And it's coming. I can't wait to share more with you guys at Gamescom in August. Now, competition is at the center of EA today, and we've always thought about it a little differently. We believe in making stars of all our players. Let me tell you something really cool. Last month, I was watching an amazing competitor, Shells. He made it to the FUT Championship finals in Berlin. 6 months ago, this guy was an unknown. Now he's a worldwide star. And he'll be competing with the best at the FIFA Interactive World Cup final in August. Now, we want to find more stars, so we're doubling down in competition in ways only EA can. This fall, we're launching the largest FIFA championship ever, with many ways to compete. The best FUT players will compete in the FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cups. And in our official Football League competitions, you can represent your favorite real-world team. It's true, you can. We'll have much more to share, including our Madden plans later this summer. As developers, your passion is what fuels us. Your stories inspire us, and competition like nothing else brings them to life.
Magnificent goal! If anything happens in this tournament, at least he has that.
This is my first time. My first time. This is my first time competing.
I just thought maybe this is something I could do.
So many good players.
I want to beat them just like they want to beat me.
Oh, wow.
I just don't understand how people think I'm the underdog.
That is confidence right there.
This is the highest level that you can play. There is a real thin line between success and failure. How nervous are you right now? It's going to be a really tough game.
I'm never going to lose ever in my life.
This is a person you can hate.
He is an absolute beast.
Loves it up to Thomas.
I wonder if we're going to see a handshake. Nope, not going to see it.
Whoa, drama!
Time and time again. And we have a game.
He got burned.
Now's the time to stand up. This is what competitive gaming's all about.
Yeah. We're about to crown a new king. There it is. It's Rocky that is your champion. And Michael Skimbo is your Madden 17 champ. He's come out of nowhere.
Were you ever in doubt in that game?
I was in doubt the whole time.
These guys are going through something special right now. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting on your couch, this could be you.
Don't act like I didn't notice that Sony logo, EA.
What?
I said that I hope EA doesn't doesn't think I didn't notice that PlayStation logo.
Oh, yeah. We know what you're saying.
Loud at you, he's a hater, I don't want no bad energy. Man get views, but I rage off because I can't see my enemy.
I hope they I do hope they show a Microsoft logo, because that will be real sad if they don't.
She wants a man from London, she wants a fellow with felonies. That's probably all my team. There's no I in it, I'm bringing all my team.
We all know that the PC version of all these sports games have been real shitty the last year. Mainly the ones from Square Enix. Not the EA ones necessarily.
How about the Pro Evolution Soccer?
That's the one from Square Enix. It's real bad.
Oh shit!
It's real. They're not. The PC ports have been real bad for the Square Enix games. The EA ones have been fine from what I've heard. I'm sorry. What?
Wait, Marcus from Mumford & Sons? Oh shit! Oh, Kevin Bacon. Terry Crews. I love Terry Crews.
I went early, Rog. I went early. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Men in Blazers. That's Rog, the bald one. I'm Davo, way less bald in person. We are delighted to be here.
Oh, we really are. Some of you will know us as the hosts of one of the top 3 most popular football shows ever to be produced in the panic room and the crap part of Soho.
That is true. Somehow, we convinced world leaders like Will Ferrell to come talk to us about the 5th best sport in the world.
Oh, we've tricked them all, Davo.
Yep.
And the common thread for us is always football and FIFA. And when I speak to players around the world, they all tell me their experience with FIFA runs so deep, it actually impacts the way they play on the field. That is art influencing life.
It's
Davo.
all melding together, Rog. Look at this. Look at how the world's game comes to life in FIFA 18. Player personality that differentiates even the talls from the smalls.
They've even perfected the inimitable run style of Raheem Sterling and developed with detail Anton Griezmann's technical ability to suavely fly past all defenders.
And
so suave.
And these atmospheres, Rog, take a look at this. They make it feel like you're in the Argentinian sun with your pasty white legs. And this is massive, Rog. They've now got the ideal athlete helping to develop the game. Is there anyone better and more genetically sound than Cristiano Ronaldo? Could you get anyone better than that?
Genetically
that man doesn't have a
sound?
6-pack. He's got an 8.
What does that mean?
And EA Sports know the only way to make Cristiano look better is to jam him in spandex and capture his data. That beautiful man. He's done it all. Let's hear it. Back-to-back champion of Europe, the La Liga title, Ballon d'Or winner, literally every trophy. And most impressive from our perspective, that beautiful head of hair.
He has hair, Roger. But as huge as Ronaldo has been this past year, there's one story bigger than them all.
Oh, yeah. Peter Moore becoming CEO at Liverpool. Good luck with that one, mate.
Oh yeah, there he goes. He went to Liverpool.
No, Rog. The biggest story
He went to Studio
in football
Liverpool.
is, of course, Alex Hunter, the new hero of the virtual pitch.
Studio Liverpool with Sony.
Alex would go on to
Peter
score
Moore is now
more
working
than
under Sony at Studio Liverpool.
360 million goals in his first season.
Well,
Wow.
that one's true, and so is this one.
Whenever our good old English national team take the field over the past year, the single name most tweeted, even more than Sir Harry Kane, Alex Hunter.
Yeah, we could have used him today, Rog.
We could have won it all.
Yeah.
Talking about winning it all, though, what a storybook year Alex Hunter's had.
Yeah.
Winning the FA Cup, just 18 years old, barely passed his bar mitzvah. He's experienced more in his first season than I will in my entire life.
That is true. It was quite the start to a truly amazing journey.
But the life of every footballer is a journey filled with victory, defeat, glory and conflict, dreams come true, and challenges that lie ahead.
So, everyone wants to know, what is next for our man Alex Hunter?
I don't know, Davo, but it seems like everyone's got an opinion.
There is one question on everybody's lips.
What next for Hunter?
Everyone's hunting Hunter.
Alex Hunter is being talked about.
I think all this Alex Hunter talk, I think that's just paper talk, if I'm honest.
Sehen wir Alex Hunter bald in der Bundesliga?
Seine Spielweise ist atemberaubend.
Alex Hunter is a proper talent, a huge talent. He needs the right club and the right manager. Any club will be lucky to have him.
Alex Hunter is in the media every day and it's getting annoying, to be fair.
Oh, it's so irritating. What kind of club would let Alex Hunter go?
And I'm not really sure that a move was the right thing for him.
J'espère qu'il va venir.
But this guy's getting too big for his boots, blood.
Alexander is a great player. He's a beast. He actually is.
He's very quick.
He got skills.
Amazing skills.
Hunter è un attaccante fenomenale.
Hopefully he's got good people around him.
Hunter's bombed his bridge. He has to look after himself. Go! Go!
I would move.
Rumours have got to stop.
Go, Alex.
Alex Hunter, you really are wasting time.
Will Alex Hunter stay or go?
Are you sure this is what
risky? Not about
this tour of the US.
What does your heart tell you?
If I stay, it will be double.
Oh.
Should I stay or should I go?
Should I go?
What up, guys? Thank you for having me, EA. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator. So I am here to talk about Need for Speed Payback. If you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a great game.
He's
But all right, all set aside.
Okay,
I'm a
don't
YouTube
make fun of
creator.
him.
Need for Speed Payback is coming out. I got my boy Mark,
That would be me.
executive producer here. He is the producer of the game. Thank you, Nick.
They get a lot of these people out from studios that
man.
don't have any
Thanks,
real
Jesse.
like public
Obviously, we're really
relations
excited
experience.
To tell everyone about Need for Speed Payback here
And it
today,
becomes
but more
very
importantly,
difficult.
show it. In Payback, you are on a revenge mission to take down the House. House is a cartel that rules the city's casinos, criminals, and cops, and that is we're delivering a brand new experience with wild heist missions, intense cop pursuits, grueling car battles, and jaw-dropping action moments. No longer is this just about being first across the finish line. We are putting you behind the wheel of an action-driving fantasy.
So Need for Speed has been around for a long time. There's been a lot of new things coming to the game and a lot of old things that people are familiar with the franchise.
Exactly. You know, we're putting a new narrative into the game where you drive 3 different characters, Tyler, Jess, and Mac, all bringing their own unique playstyle to the game. You drive across city, mountains, deserts, and canyons in the most diverse open world ever made for a Need for Speed game. There's a lot of great new elements in this game, but also obviously a lot of fundamentals like customization. We go way deeper when it comes to visual and performance customizations, as well as introducing something on top of that, something we call derelicts, which are abandoned classic cars that you transform from scrap to stock to supercars.
Speaking of customization, my homie Nick, AR12 Gaming, he looks like he's customizing a classic Beetle. He's going to be doing a lot more of this customization and gameplay at 1:30 on the stream if you want to come back. But enough talking about it, I'm trying to see it.
Yeah, you know, we're absolutely very excited to show you the first, one of the blockbusters from Need for Speed Payback, called the Highway Heist, that shows that intense action driving experience. So let's turn around and take a look.
You were right about a slightly different experience. Sounds like.
0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. We intercept, then grab the car back.
It'll be part of a convoy.
What are you thinking?
Quick hit and run. Get me close to the truck and I'll take care of the rest. Get me close to that truck before it hits the tunnel. The house won't let us anywhere near the truck. We've got to take out those cars. Get rid of these guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that truck.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is like Takedown.
Yeah, it's by Criterion's, I think. Was it Criterion? Who's making this game? Alright, I'll look it up real quick.
What the hell?
This guy's out of his mind.
There's something much bigger going on here.
What's the play?
Forget the tunnel. We get him before he reaches the city.
That's pretty cool.
Guys, more house cars headed your way.
They're going down either way.
Wait, what?
Take him out, Ty.
Guys, city's coming up fast. Jess, I've got a really bad idea.
Mac?
Ladder on the side. You can get up on his right.
It's now or never, Jess.
Do it. Keep it steady!
Jump!
Jess! Jess? You got this?
Jess!
I got this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good job, team. Let's take this baby home.
Let's see what she can do. Okay, boys. Let's even the odds.
I can assure you that plays as well as it looks. Last year at EA Play, we unveiled EA Originals. The program was something we created to support small, independent studios, to help bring experiences that are unique, gorgeous, innovative, and memorable to the world. We are partnering with game creators through the process from development to marketing to publishing. But EA Originals is also about funding.
That looked pretty cool,
offering
but
a level of security. The profits from these games
I just
go
felt
back
like
to
the
hands of
voice
the
acting
developers.
was a bit
We
too
have been
like,
overwhelmed
okay,
with
guys,
the indie community's
we're gonna
reaction to this.
smack
I can
these
tell you, we
dudes.
received hundreds of pitches, many of them brilliant, and as a result, we now have several new titles in development. Today, I want to introduce you to our next EA Originals title, one that I've been very close to from the beginning.
Still,
this game tells a story in an
cool
entirely new way.
have like
Now, a few years ago,
storyline
I played the indie
with
brothers, A Tale of Two Sons,
that kind
with
of
my
gameplay.
oldest daughter. I loved how different.
I took notes on it.
also
I took notes on it. We'll come back.
mechanics
We'll
and
come back to it
storytelling were
at the
really
post
cool,
show.
and we both loved the emotional story. So I decided to contact the game's creator, Joseph Fares. When we met, we instantly realized we shared the same passion for games and how to bring new experiences to players. I also found out that he was building a new studio called Hazelight. Now, we're thrilled to be working with Joseph to bring his new project to all of you. What started out as a wild idea on paper has now turned into a groundbreaking, one-of-a-kind game called A Way Out. Take a look.
What's your plan?
Stay the hell away from me, okay? I'm sure you have good reasons to bust out of here, but I need to get out of here too. Yeah?
Shawshank Redemption, the video game.
It's pitch black. We need a light.
Screw it. I'll go first.
We're gonna have to work together.
You okay? You have a problem?
Yeah, I got a problem with you.
I love you, buddy.
Vincent, what are you doing here?
She's my daughter, too. See? Problem solved.
Come on, Leo!
That was cool looking.
Hey, my name is Joseph Fares, and I'm the writer-director of A Way Out. I'm so excited to be here and show you the game. So, after I finished Brothers, I wanted to make another game that pushed the boundaries on how to tell stories without compromising on gameplay. And this is the reason why I started Hazelight Studios together with the team behind Brothers. And working with EA's originals was perfect for this, because we have the full creative freedom and trust from EA to deliver the game we truly believe in. And that is very important for Hazelight, let me tell you that. So, the idea for A Way Out came to me when me and a friend trying to find a co-op game that wasn't just a drop-in, drop-out experience. I wanted to play a game where the characters had unique personalities and goals. A game where me and a friend can embark on an emotional journey together. And this is exactly what A Way Out is. The game is designed for split-screen co-op only, and I mean only. So you will be able to play it online, but to get the full experience and feel, we want you and your friend to play it in your couch. And gameplay-wise, yeah, couch, nice, right? Action. Finally, yeah. And what was I going to say? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, wait, it's coming to me. Come on. Gameplay-wise, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be a huge amount of variation. You're going to be able to play everything. I mean, not everything, but a lot of stuff. There's going to be exploration, driving,
I like this guy.
action. Also,
Yeah, he took that a lot better than the other guy that was.
After you finish playing a Way Out, I will tell you, you will play a co-op game like never before. I know, I mean, I can guarantee that. I know I sound very cocky, but I can't help it because it's true. I'm so pumped up, it's crazy. You don't know, I live, breathe this game.
What?
I'm telling you. It's
This
like,
guy is great.
It's gonna kick ass, it's gonna kick ass. So right now, I will show you a gameplay video that's gonna show you just a small part of the game, but still, you're gonna get blown away. And I also wanna say that I'm so proud and happy to be part of this industry. It's crazy how fun it is to be here and do these games. It's so much fun. And also, one last thing. I want to say hello to my Hazelight team watching live from Sweden. Thank you, goodbye, hop shaky, boom, come on.
That's an interesting character.
A Way Out is a story-driven co-op game. It is designed, played, and experienced only in split-screen co-op, which means you have to play the game with a friend, either online or on your couch.
That's a bold move.
You play as Vincent and Leo. You and a friend will get to know your characters and unfold their story together.
You don't know anything about me, man. Maybe not. But Harvey killed someone very close to me. With or without you, I'm going after him.
Let me show you some of the scenarios in the game. On the right side, you see Leo was already in prison. On the left, you see Vincent, who just arrived. Now if you look to the right again, you can see that Leo can be controlled, while Vincent is in a cutscene. Here's another one. Vincent and Leo are now in the laundry room. Your goal is to smuggle sheets using a laundry cart. You can approach the scenario in different ways. Either get the cart with Vincent.
No, I got a good pack right here. I think it's got your name on it. it's broken. I don't know.
Or with Leo.
Get over here, you idiot!
Yeah, but I think those two guys are just about to fight. What the? What? Who's him?
In A Way Out, you will experience something new all the time. Everything you do in the game is unique for that scene. We want you and your friend to be focused and engaged throughout the entire story. But let me tell you, this is just the beginning of what you will be experiencing in A Way Out.
Get him! Run, run, run!
Relax, man. I got this.
I think we have a new co-op simulator game.
Yeah. I know, me again. Thank you, Joseph. That game is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Now let's switch gears for just a minute. It's great to be here showing you the games you'll play this year. But at the same time, we are inspired to look farther ahead. Creative ideas combined with new technologies become an unstoppable force. We have teams
We're getting a VR game.
Technologies that are changing the world and using them to change the way we play. These are the futurists, the incubators, our talented artists, designers, and engineers within our studios, our Frostbite team, our digital platform team, and a new research division called Seed. What motivates me every day is the responsibility we have to push our industry forward. That's one reason we created this new division. Seed is a small, stealthy team that I work with on a daily basis, exploring some of our most visionary concepts, like deep learning or neural networks, creating a world for you to define, to interact with, and share as you wish, or virtual humans with deeply sophisticated artificial intelligence. So instead of one main character shared by millions, we can have millions of main characters shaped by you. That's just the beginning of how we can blur reality and the digital world. Go anywhere, share your discoveries.
Have you ever
the games become
read much about machine learning?
Now, what we know today is that
I'm really big on it.
will change more in the next 5 years
That's pretty fascinating.
than it has in the last 45. Together, we are building that future, one that disrupts, empowers, and is full of play. And to do that, we also need innovative new platform technology. So when we were thrilled when we got our first project Scorpio dev kits from Microsoft, 6 teraflops and true 4K graphical fidelity. Now these Madden NFL 18 visuals are just a taste of what can be accomplished combining Frostbite with Project Scorpio. And already we are creating the most detailed, high-resolution environments you've ever seen on a console. Madden looks absolutely stunning, but as game makers, awesome graphics and effects are just the beginning. The game has to feel amazing as well. Project Scorpio is a powerful platform, and it's coming at the right time. Now, I have one more thing before I go. New IP is one of the purest forms of innovation in our industry. A brand new IP.
Isn't that what IP is?
Tech and a vision for something extraordinary.
I think you just defined IP for us.
Push every boundary for you. It is vast, dangerous, beautiful, and unexpected. So this is just the first tease that we're showing you today. Then we will have so much more in the Microsoft press conference tomorrow, so don't miss that. But for now, here's the first glimpse of our brand new IP from BioWare.
Oh, BioWare. Are they really working on something that's not Old Republic?
The wall. It's our armor. It protects us from what lies beyond. But out there, you either live with the choices you make, or die trying to change them. The story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean O'Brien, and I'm here today to share the latest about NBA Live 18 with you. But instead of talking about it, I'd like to show you. We've spent the last 2 years completely overhauling virtually every aspect of gameplay. Now we're going to go outside to a hands-on station out in FanFest so you can check out some of those improvements. And then we're going to come back in here and give you more details about how NBA Live 18 introduces an entirely new way to play a basketball game. We call it the One. Gibbs, Connor, over to you.
Thank you, Sean. You look
Here's another 10 minutes of NBA Live.
We are here out at FanFest. EA Play. I want to see everyone.
Now, don't seriously. We don't want to alienate the people who like these games, but they're not for
I am
us.
excited to see a first look at NBA Live 18.
These games sell really well.
Than my guy right here, creative director Connor Dugan. Connor, let's take first look NBA Live 18.
Yeah, what's up? I mean, I'm super excited that people finally get their hands on NBA Live. We're gonna take a look at a replay we just got. Q and I were playing. I'm controlling LeBron. Q's controlling KD. Let's take a look.
Get all these angles in here. I want to see the sweat.
All right. So what we're looking at here is I'm using my right stick dribble control. I'm performing any combination of moves I want. So I can go behind the back, between the legs.
I want to see the
sweat. And now I'm trying to attack the basket. But KD or Q cuts me off with a flick of his left stick, and then I try to go back at him again. This time I'm going to go middle, but Q's late. He doesn't hit his left stick. He misses a timing window, and now I have an open lane to the hoop. So we see Zaza coming over.
Tell me he finishes strong.
He does.
Tell me he finishes strong.
I use my right stick to finish with the left hand, as you can see here, right over top of Zaza, finish in the lane, and then there we have it. LeBron's looking like LeBron. Nice tight shot.
Classic LeBron, baby. That's what it's all about right there. I appreciate this first look at NBA Live 18. Sean, back to you.
Thanks, fellas.
Now, how was he able to control, like, rewinding
Thank you.
and,
We're excited
and
for
going
all
forward
of you
in
to
slow
get your
motion?
hands on NBA Live
It's the same.
At the same time.
It's the same way as they. It was basically just a pre-recording of gameplay. They do that all the time in these games.
To this new basketball world. Jumpstart your own legacy through solo, co-op, and
Like instant
multiplayer
replay.
experiences, and carry all of your progress over to the full game. Now let's take a look at the One.
NBA Live 18 is an all-new way to pursue your legacy. Centered on you, your journey is defined by the choices you make. Welcome to the One. The One unleashes the freedom to play how and with whom you want. Here, the respect you earn on the streets matters just as much as the rings you earn in the league. Rise through the ranks in the league, an authentic NBA experience where you dominate the hardwood on your way to winning championships. But the new NBA Live goes beyond the league, taking you into the streets, where the rules and how you earn respect are different. Team up with friends to take down NBA legends at historic courts like Venice Beach. Throughout your journey, your on-court performance leads to increased skills and new gear, as your hype builds in both the streets and the league, from Venice to Rucker Park and everywhere in between. Join the community with 5-on-5 pickup games at iconic, real-world courts. Hit the Drew League and continue to build your legacy in the Pro-Am Tour. Earn the right to go head-to-head with the very best and show off your signature style. From East Coast to West Coast, from the streets to the league, everything you do matters. Your legacy is defined by you and how you choose to play. This is your world. It's time for you to be the One.
At least it seems like for these basketball games, they come up with like a brand new thing for each one, you know? Like it's always some big name change thing. Like you saw Madden and FIFA and they didn't show any changes, but when they showed off this, they have the One program, and then a few years ago they had other programs that were better for ball control and things, and they have a new name for it every single year.
Well, I thought that Madden had something different, like where you were
having like a like you were.
Thanks, guys.
Having
and
someone's
thanks to
life,
all of the
basically.
teams here sharing
Like
games
you.
today.
A story mode,
And a
yeah.
special
But
thanks
we've
to
seen story
Joseph
modes with
and
games
Hazeline.
before, I
How
think.
about that for some passion?
Oh, okay.
It's different for. It's a little different for
finale
Madden,
coming
but
up here
I
in just a
swear we've
moment.
seen story modes for
30
all sorts of
minutes
sports games from
pure,
EA.
unadulterated Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars.
But before we get there, I wanted to pause for just a moment.
No, Star Wars.
Last week we did something pretty amazing together. We held our annual EA Play to Give campaign, celebrating the importance of inclusion and play in our communities and in life. We partnered with 3 outstanding charities: the United Nations He for She, and anti-bullying organizations, the Pacer Center and Ditch the Label. We donated $1 million to these 3 great organizations in support of building a more inclusive world. And here's where play comes in. All of you, our millions of players out there, joined us in support of inclusion. You came out in play in 9 in-game challenges. And by coming together, we are showing the world what a positive force that games can be. And to thank you for that, we're opening ways for you to play a bunch of great games for free. Starting today for the rest of the week, Origin Access, as well as the Vaultlin EA Access, are free. For
Cool.
PlayStation 4 players, we'll also have a bunch of free trials running all week. We're talking FIFA, Madden, PvZ Garden Warfare 2, Star Wars Battlefront, and much more. So jump in, bring your friends, have fun with some great games this week while you're getting ready and excited for what's to come. Now, without further ado, we bring you Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2. I love that John Boyega tweeted that, apparently. We need more than that, though. Their online mode needs to be more tight and concise.
Makes you witch. Wasn't actually story.
God, and by the way, at the Cincinnati Museum Center, we have some of these costumes, and they're fucking amazing. Not sponsored by the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Sure it isn't.
Hello.
I saw that check they gave you, Jacob.
I'm Janina Gavankar, and I play Commander Iden Versio, leader of the Inferno Squad in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, okay.
I'm also an advocate for in-depth cinema caliber story in games.
And?
That tweet from John Boyega was like the tweet heard around the world. It spoke for all of us. When can we play a Star Wars story? We don't want to just relive the movies. We've watched them a million times. What we want to do is have a new and authentic, untold story. A story that delivers new perspectives and enables us to play as some of our favorite Star Wars characters while also introducing new ones. And just like Rogue One tells an essential Star Wars story ahead of A New Hope, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will tell a new Star Wars story that helps bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's good. But EA didn't just stop there. We loved the previous Battlefront of 2015, but we wanted more. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is much bigger than the previous title, with more than 3 times the content of the first game.
Is that enough content, though? Because the last one didn't have that much
Now,
content.
I'm all about that couch co-op, and they're bringing
kinda
it back
why
with the
I was
return
in-
of Skirmish.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be cuddling up with someone.
Cool,
playing
skirmish.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
In multiplayer, there are more heroes, more vehicles, more planets. I've been to some of them. More space battles and starfighter assault, and deeper progression and customization, as well as content from across all eras. But, as we know, Star Wars is not just some checklist of great features. How does Battlefront 2 play? The team at DICE in Stockholm has some of the most talented multiplayer designers in the world, and they've been working with the EA Game Changers to make sure Star Wars Battlefront 2 has the multiplayer we're all looking for. These Game Changers, they basically get like tapped on the shoulder because they're the best Battlefront players in the world, and then they get secretly flown out to Stockholm. As long as they provide valuable feedback, they get an early look at the game. Sounds like an awesome program, and if I didn't suck at multiplayer, maybe I get an invite. That's true. So let's hear more from them about their time at DICE.
After the release of Star Wars Battlefront 1, the community thought there should have been more. And the good news is this, the developers have been listening.
I'm really excited to let the Game Changers get their hands on the game.
This is gonna stay, right? Sorry? The clean UI look is gonna stay?
There's still time to change something if it's not working.
Oh my God. My first impression with the game is upgraded. All 3 eras are gonna be in the game.
No, Earthbound's coming at me! Oh, okay, Battle Squad! We've got a whole bunch of new features. One of the biggest ones that a lot of fans are excited about is the class system.
They split the characters up into different classes.
They have different weapons, special abilities that you can customize.
It affects your health. It affects how you are gonna support your team.
There's gonna be more content. You're gonna have to get used to a lot of new different techniques on how to play.
The gunplay and the weapons have completely been redone compared to the first Battlefront. Now there is a lengthened skill gap in it.
It feels a lot better and go, oh, okay, this gun feels kind of more real, less floaty.
Which is your favorite hero so far? We're introducing a system called Battle Points, which will allow you to become not only heroes, but other things on the battlefield.
As you're helping your team play the objective, you gain these points.
There's such a plethora of things to spend it on, vehicles,
or even coming in as a hero.
And the coolest thing, I think, is a level of customization, not just from a weapon standpoint, but the actual character's own abilities.
Collaborating with the Game Changers is always a really great working environment when you're trying to figure things out.
I mean, to know that you're giving key feedback to make it a better experience for everybody, it's like putting your footprint out there and saying, look, I'm part of this.
Is everyone in position?
Yeah, ready.
Everyone ready?
So I'm going to participate in making the trailer. It's a whole different level of fantasy.
All right, recording.
So 3, 2, 1.
And now, on behalf of the EA Game Changers and DICE, this is the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer gameplay.
Oh, okay, we are getting gameplay. Good. I was really concerned for a moment there. Is this Naboo? Really? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Sector is clear.
All wings. We're coming up on the Star Destroyer, but we need to clear that escort. Let's give him everything we got.
Your next assignments, they are unusual.
Grab onto something.
I'm trying.
That's pretty cool.
Yoda, Darth Maul, Wookiees, Kylo Ren versus Rey. I watched that thing like 20 times backstage with my mom before this even started. My mom's here. Yes, it's a big day for me. I'm sorry. So. Okay, so we have even more exciting things for you. In just a moment, YouTube personality iJustine, shoutcaster Alex Goldenboy Mendez, and DICE developer Paul Kesslin will showcase Assault on Theed, the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer. Yep. We've got 39 game changers ready to go, head-to-head in a 20 versus 20 match, battle on Theed, and I'm gonna take the 40th slot. We'll see. Okay, but you're not gonna wanna miss this, because like maybe you've seen some teasers, but this is the real thing, okay? All the bells and whistles, all the newness, but before we take you there, another big Star Wars Battlefront fan has some exciting news.
Ooh. Hi guys, it's John Boyega here. Thought I wasn't gonna turn up, yes I was, but I'm sorry I can't be there with you because I'm doing a play in London. But I do have some great news. Obviously, you know I'm a massive fan of Star Wars Battlefront 1, and now we're going into the next chapter with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm very, very excited to share this news with you. We've seen Yoda, we've seen Luke, we've seen all the other characters, but where's Finn? Finn will definitely be a part of Star Wars Battlefront 2, alongside with Captain Phasma as part of the first season of free content. And there's more. On top of that, we also get to play on the new planet Crate that you saw on the Last Jedi teaser trailer in April. So this is going to be an exciting time. I'm going to be playing. If you see Finn running around whooping some ass, it's me. So I'm getting ready, getting set for you guys to play with me on Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm excited. Let's play.
Okay, but did you listen? Finn and Phasma are headed to Star Wars Battlefront 2 this holiday, and it will be free. Yes. The team at DICE heard our feedback loud and clear on the previous Battlefront and are committed to keeping this community together with themed seasons of content post-launch for all players at no additional charge.
No season passes. Heck yeah.
So, the first season, inspired by Star Wars The Last Jedi, is only the beginning of the additional content coming to this game. All post-launch heroes, maps, weapons, and vehicles will be free for everyone who owns Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes. And yesterday, EA announced that players who pre-order will get early access to multiplayer beta and Yoda's epic lightsaber mastery star card.
What,
So, let us recap. New essential Star
just to
Wars
see
story.
that we're both at
Multiplayer
the
across
same time.
all three Star Wars
Like,
eras.
I just saw Yoda.
Space battles, split screen
Oh, okay.
co-op, and free content that will keep us playing together
for years to come. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where I just heard. I'm a little bit behind
right?
you.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I think you might be able to fast forward.
No,
5 seconds.
I don't want to
am
refresh
so
it because the
honored
people
to
who are
be
watching.
A tiny little part
okay.
And I'm
of
recording.
This team making this amazing game. I can't believe they let me do this today. And I can't wait to play the game in its entirety in November. And I get to start right now. So I'm going to go pick up my controller, and I'm going to throw it over to iJustine and Golden Boy and Paul to take us to Assault on Theed, the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome to the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer gameplay, Assault on Theed. We're ready to show you guys the live gameplay for the first time. I'm your host, iJustine, and with me here today, we've got Golden Boy and Paul Kesslin, producer from DICE. What have we got going on here today, guys?
We got a lot going on today. First of all, what we're going to see today is a 3-stage mode. It's our new gameplay. We'll be
This seems really cool.
We'll be showing people going.
From here on out, I think we're going to
they'll be going all the way up
stream
the
my
main
content
pathway
to you all
towards
directly, to you guys directly, you and Will, so that
From
way
there, if we progress to stage 2,
that way we don't have
droids
this
need
issue.
to try to bypass security, make their way into the palace itself. If they're successful, they'll be able to take on the throne room.
I'll
and there, the droids
go back a little bit.
Try to capture that from the
I just saw they're showing a map of Theed right now for the assault.
Try to push him out and make that last stand.
Can we just take a moment here and appreciate
Same
the
for
fact
me.
that we get to be droids in Star Wars?
Yeah, this
It's
is
gonna be
really
awesome.
cool.
I can't wait. Are you guys excited?
Can we just show it already?
Man, you guys got to come alive over here because we're going to see some great gameplay. We have some great game changers who are going to be competing here. And I use competing as a term because these guys are holding nothing back just yet.
Yeah, no, it's been super exciting, and we got a chance to play yesterday, and it's just really fun to sort of get into this environment. You know, it's something that we've seen in the movies, but we were actually in the gameplay, and with somebody here who has actually worked on the game.
Look at this, sweetie.
So let's talk more about what we're seeing
I'll
here
wait.
and getting into this, because there's 3 phases to this. So currently, we're in phase 1.
That's right, and also we have some great game changers. You saw one of them pop up in just a little while. It was BF Updates, Pool Shark, Mooselk. We also have my boy Darkness, aka Dankness. He will be playing as well. We have Westy, Master G, Star Wars HQ.
That was NBA Live. That was not Star Wars.
Yeah, this is not Battlefront.
So, Star Wars Battlefront 2, folks.
How about you focus on one?
Because essentially, phase 1, you get to escort an MPT.
Play as one character, yeah, it might be good, but.
Oh no, I mean, I like focus on one game instead of.
They do.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. The
it seemed like they were talking about
trying to escort that MPT up the
NBA
main
too.
pathway. If they're successful, we go into that phase 2. But right now, what we're seeing is some specialist gameplay from I think Battlefront updates.
Yeah, let's actually talk about the specialists, and also you're going to see a couple different classes here. This class in particular that Master G is using is the heavy class. Specialist.
He shot his gun.
Sniper, right?
His friend in the back.
What do they do here?
So the heavy class is great. They got a bit more health than your average trooper. They're also able to pop that combat shield, try to push into areas. So you can see those guys as pushers or defenders in some areas. But it looks like we got one of our Vulture droids right now. Not sure who's flying this guy, but these guys are great at air-to-air,
cool.
trying to take out those other ships that might be coming in.
This is the new Battlefront game. It's a little different.
Provide some great ground support like we're seeing here.
And all the content will be free, no season pass.
Oh no! Come on, man!
This is they now added other factions, so there's droids and
We also do have the air support, but we also have
clones.
ground support as well.
Crashed the
On
kill
Naboo.
building.
So another thing that those
Poor
air
guy.
vehicles are great at is trying to take out some of the ground vehicles that you may see. The droid army has the AAT tank, something that's really great at troop suppression. But we see here a little clip of the V-Wing doing that. Oh man, he's just mowing some droids down there.
Yeah, just absolutely shredding. You're going to see this happen quite a bit, especially in this phase, because there's a lot of open field here, right? And you can just come through for some great great bombing runs, really, and eliminate as many people as you possibly can. And also, you put the presence of an air vehicle out there. Players will fear the skies, and they will, look for cover in this map where it's already difficult to find cover to begin with in this phase in particular.
Absolutely, and you can see right now that there is an AAT tank sitting around on the battlefield. He is probably taking out those clone troopers, but this Vulture droid is really stepping it up.
What I love about this is everyone's like, oh, look at this great open map. And then when you start phase 2, it's like everything starts coming in and coming way closer together. And we were talking a little bit more about the Assault class. So for somebody who has just started playing this, never played any previous versions, do you feel like the Assault class might be something perfect for them to pick up?
I think the Assault class is yes, absolutely. It's something that is, that's painful. The Assault class is something that a lot of players will be able to jump right into. They're your frontline flanker attacker. I think they're going to be fairly easy. You can get right in and just start having your typical run and gun action. Their signature ability, you see here at the top of the screen, your number 2 ability, that switches you over to a shotgun. You get a little bit faster, and you're able to really get in there and kind of break through those front lines.
Oh, I love it. I love using the shotgun, man. It is so good. And it's actually, when I first used it, it really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. And I said, wait a minute. I could destroy people with this. So I just charged into the room and just absolutely shredded everyone. It was so fun to play with here. We're also seeing some great dogfighting here between the clones and the separatists. This is certainly what a lot of folks love in Star Wars, and just really in any game that DICE makes, right? They just always do a good job with the air combat. He's really trying to track him down. This Vulture's
He's not having much luck.
No,
yeah, that Vulture cannot shake him.
Well, so we got Star Wars HQ here. He's playing the Assault class again, and you saw here he has the signature thermal detonator that he'll be able to kind of suppress some of those guys with as he rushes in.
And there are different weapons as well. Like one of the guns that I would oftentimes use was the semi-automatic gun. It fired a lot slower, but you can get some great shots with it. And then there's also this nice compact SMG style blaster that really shreds through people in close range. I was using a little.
I mean, we want to give you a little bit more weapon variety this time around,
Yeah.
Also, some AAT tank action here, and this is that doing what it does best. It's suppressing that point, trying to keep those clones out of the way.
They're trying to make their way forward as the objective continues to march down. He has to get away from that.
He's trying to, I don't know, is he trying to flank the tank? That's not smart.
I don't know, man. Maybe he will. Maybe
you saw a little combat roll there. Maybe some escape options in case you get into some hairy action.
Uh-oh, we didn't get to see this one before. Finally,
we haven't.
Some ATRTs, yes. So these are great for taking out those AATs. So these guys are a little quick. They have an ion charge ability. That way they'll be able to do a little bit more extra damage against the tank should they see it. So you can imagine like 3 or 4 of these on the battlefield really rushing around points. Like, look at this. He's just
Can you stop someone out?
That looks fun.
What can you do with this?
You can run someone over if you want.
I was actually going to say, could I get shot off of it if I'm on top of it because my body's exposed? That question was answered, instantly.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, almost immediately. Oh man. So Mr. Muselk here. Look for this guy to be on a tear a little bit later as well. And also, I did want to highlight, we had an officer, as a matter of fact, right in front of Star Wars.
We did, one of my favorite classes.
What is it about the officer that makes it so unique?
I mean, my Twitch skills aren't where they used to be. I'm a bit slower nowadays, but I'm able to really buff up my class, or buff up my teammates, try to let them get some extra health, let them push through the points faster. And,
what happened there?
Finally some good dogfighting going in there.
Okay,
so
all right.
What's
And
great what's great about some of these starfighters is these are accessed through our new battle point
Player
system.
stand
So
666.
instead of finding a pickup token on the map like we used to in the last game, you're now able to, depending on how well you do, whether you're scoring points via kills, via team play assists, or you're playing the objective like we really want players to do, you're earning points continuously that will allow you to spend those on whether it be a special character, whether it be a vehicle, or even a hero.
And the battle points that allows you to unlock all of those things.
All those things, definitely.
And also something to look out for too. When we get into phase 2, that's when battle points are really going to play a role there, right?
I mean, right now, definitely you see a lot more. It's an open space. You have time for this air combat and some vehicle gameplay. But once we get inside, it's going to be a different story.
That's right. Things are definitely going to heat up. And what is this happening, right? This is a lock-on just trying to shake him out?
Yep.
Yeah, they better enjoy their air combat here, because that's not going to be happening for much longer.
Oh, Master G is just destroying him. Oh, he got picked off. Nice job.
I mean, he was doing what he needed to do, support his team, right? Second
Wow.
body arms fire. You want to make sure that somebody's trying to cover you from the air.
That was cool.
Boy. So, and you can see after every respawn as well, you get those
how many points you're earning.
Right? So
That's
you
right.
can use those later on. Got some specialist gameplay here as well. Maybe you can take off a couple faces, perhaps. That
And so in the specialist class, you can also deploy different types of traps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have access to a trip mine. So if you want to sit there and you want to be, that true sniper character, you set up some trip mines behind yourself, make sure nobody can flank you. But really, you're there to provide some of that cover fire for your troops downrange. And it's especially potent in this area because it is such a big open area. So that specialist will really shine in phase 1.
Some more bombing runs here and just absolutely tearing them up. I have to say, man, Muselk is killing it in this world.
Again, he's doing great. Oh, and we see there one of the officer classes right next to one of the clones.
Officer, fantastic for pushing, right? You want to be able to push the objective.
Definitely.
Support your team. Like, if you are playing with your buddies, you want to be able to have at least one officer available because he keeps you going in the fight.
At least. I mean, they really help push, when those heavies are trying to drive towards a point, you got your officers behind you, giving you some extra health, making sure that you're still able to complete that push. Or on the opposite side, if you're one of the droids and you really need to lock down a point, the officers have access to a turret that they can place on the ground and, give a little bit more fire support for that area.
I'm trying to see if Massive G here is, he's really focused on the bombing runs, right? He's not trying to go into combat with Muselk, who's up there. There's Darkness 429. Just shredding everyone up here. Maybe he can get a couple kills in the corner.
He just went into siege mode?
Yeah, this is happening.
Oh, yeah, so tell us about the siege mode. How does this play out?
In siege mode, for a limited time, you're able to just blow up some huge area effect shots. You lock down your position, but you're able to have a lot more firepower.
We also just saw the B2 Super Battle Droid there as well. That's something you can get
Another
with
one of my
battle points
favorites.
as well.
Another one of my favorites. Yeah, and you can grab those guys via the battle point system. Those guys, great at pushing points again. They have high health, a lot of rapid fire. Oh,
here we go.
Oh, there it is.
And this big explosion indicates phase 1 is over. Now we start phase 2. And this is when the action really begins to pick up here because it gets really tight inside of that building and players need to be mindful of that and look for this B2 to just shred through everyone, especially with that cooling ability that he has, to be able to keep him just constantly shooting in the fight.
He's gonna make a huge difference here as the fight moves inside. I mean, there's gonna be narrow pathways. He's gonna be able to just shred as soon as anybody gets in his way. because it's those narrow corridors. It's gonna be trouble.
And just waiting for the prime opportunity to push up here. Players falling. Got White Boy there. And there. Oh, here we go.
This is some Darth Maul action.
Here we go, folks.
That's
Darth
cool.
Where it starts to get interesting.
This is
scary.
Darth Maul will excel in phase 2 and phase 3 as you're inside. I mean, he's a great mobile attacker. He's going to sit there with his
such
lightsaber.
Close quarters too, so he's absolutely perfect for that.
Absolutely. I mean, some of his abilities you can see here. He's got that spin attack. He's able to just rush in and out of combat and just take guys out in the process.
It was funny. I was talking to Muso earlier, and he was using Darth Maul, and he was saying how there's Boba Fett as well. But he was talking about how he wishes Darth Maul could reflect. I was like, if he could reflect, he'd be too strong. He'd be way too strong.
There's a good flank. That was a good flank by Boba Fett and Maul. Just shredded the Clone Army, unfortunately.
So what role does Boba Fett fill in this battle?
Boba Fett is definitely a hunter-killer. So if the Clone Army is able to get some of their heroes in play, like this is where Boba Fett will really shine. Is with that jetpack of his, he's able to kind of float above the battlefield, fire off some rockets,
no, Darth
really
Maul's
take
down.
out an individual target.
And so what difference does he have from the last game?
From the last game, we've given him a bit new tricks. He's got a new concussion rocket that will really disorient players completely. But he also has this rocket barrage instead of just one rocket. He's able to really just lay down some suppressive fire.
Nice. Also, one thing to keep in mind, we saw the B2, here we go, but on the clone side, there are specialist, characters that you can pick up as well. We haven't seen much of it yet, but that would be the clone jump trooper.
That's right.
Very different from the standard like assault class or heavy class. It has the jump jets that you love from Battlefront, the original.
That's right.
Brought back here, but now focused on the central class.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're back to Boba Fett here with the rocket jumps there.
He's shredding.
He will just lay down so much firepower. It's intense.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they got him though.
Down. Jesse was able to find him on that one, but here comes some officer gameplay here.
Oh, good. Finally, somebody playing some support.
Support people matter too.
They do.
You gotta give them some love.
We're the linchpin of the team,
Yeah, exactly. Now, what is his 2 exactly? His 2 is the healing
His
ability?
2 abilities exactly. It's that healing ability. It gives you a little bit of buff for your little over health, but it also heals you back up. So it's here we got some of the jump troopers.
Oh boy, and here we go. It's getting ready for phase 3 in just a little bit. There's a jump trooper. We talked about him before. Jump trooper's super fun to play, but again, it's attached to a specialist now, so not everyone's going to have it equipped, although it was really fun in the original Battlefront.
That's right.
But I am going to be excited to hop in a jump trooper and shred people myself.
I mean, I know a lot of people love the jump pack.
Oh, now we've got Rey. Not gonna lie, I'm super excited to play as her.
She's
Rey.
quite a powerful character.
Yeah, that's really cool.
She got out of that one really quickly.
Where'd she go? Oh, there she is.
The droid fallen by a simple droid.
No, but Rey
I think I might be a little ahead of you now.
Affect enemies.
Absolutely. So Rey's mind trick is something that against all enemies, they'll be confused for a little bit. Your controls will kind of...
Yeah, I think my stream sort of slowed down for a little bit.
More vulnerable to attack.
Just so you guys know, this is when it gets insane. Because there's so much going on here. And was that
so many heroes. Now there's a Han Solo coming in.
Gonna get some Han?
I hope so. But I mean, you saw it earlier, so every time you finish a life, we'll show you how many battle points you have, and some people have enough points to get those reinforcements, and especially this late in the game, you'll see a lot more of these special classes coming out, a lot more of the heroes coming out. So again, this jump trooper here, with his rocket launcher and his jump pack, trying to be mobile, trying to fly into that last zone and capture a point.
This is really where heavies are going to thrive as well, because my goodness, you just see
laying down fire
through the doorway, just absolutely dominating the clones. They need to push out. They need to fight this one out here. There are so many lives left that the Separatists have to their team. They could really run through this. The clones have to start acting fast, because if they cap it, that will be it. The Separatists will win this game.
It's not looking so good for my boys in the Clone Army.
I'm a Separatist fan, so I'm excited.
I'm just gonna go on whichever team wins.
Oh,
okay.
So I'm not gonna be too picky here.
Okay, jump and ship. I understand that. No loyalties. Maybe you are Sith after all.
Maybe I am.
Oh, who knows?
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Yeah. So in this third phase, though, the droids are trying to capture that throne room. So you can see here, if you remember, this is the main throne.
And this is such super close quarters. Do you have any sort of strategies that you would?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're the clones, you're hoping that. Oh, geez.
Han Solo was just getting torn up.
This is gonna be trouble.
It's like too soon, man. I can't relive Force Awakens again. Don't do it.
Darth Maul is just destroying absolutely everything. I mean, is there any tips to taking him down?
I mean, you want to try to combined arms fire.
Oh.
The tip is blasters.
Run away. Maybe run away.
Run away and just shoot the crap out of Darth Maul. Oh, man.
He was our MVP. Look at that.
Nice stuff.
Moose
Out. Congratulations.
36 kills. He ended
36 kills. Wow.
My goodness.
Well, guys, that was it. What did you guys think?
That was pretty cool.
Not bad.
Wait.
I'm lying. It was freaking awesome. I love it. It's so good.
Score.
I love the class-based gameplay personally. Because again, you can really get your squad, your friends, get together and say like, "Hey, I want to,
I think I've heard
the
of that guy.
officer," and we're running through some highlights here.
Familiar. Wow, that Mosul K guy, he's 36 and 11.
Actually, I think it's just a crash montage. I think that's what we're gonna do at this point. Just all crashing all the time. I'm down with that.
But it was Musak. I mean, he's sitting there, getting as many battle points as he can for his next life. I mean, that's what you want to try to see with those battle point systems. You want to.
Yeah, but if it's like Battlefield, the kills don't necessarily matter. It's more it's more objective. It's more objective based. You get score from all sorts of things.
Just the way the game looks, it's so beautiful. Especially seeing this part of the Star Wars universe brought to life, the way that you guys really managed to do so. I mean, kudos on that one. Once again, just dropping jaws everywhere.
We try. I mean, the team back home is amazing. They do incredible things. I mean, you can see it looks so pretty. Just look at this laser fire. It's intense, and it looks beautiful.
It really does look incredible.
So good. I was just gushing right now. Like we get it. The game looks good. Definitely. Oh man, but that was awesome. And overall, I mean, I have to say, like I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to coordinate with my friends. And destroy the clone scum. I can't wait for that. Yeah, exactly. Separatists all day.
Well, guys, that was so awesome. Now, if you guys are in LA, you can come join us at FanFest this weekend. And if you come down on Monday, we've got a chance for you guys to win a trip to Gamescom in Germany this August. All you have to do is come and play, which is, I mean, that's not asking too much. And you have to be the best player of your match, and you guys will be entered to win a trip for 2 to Cologne, Germany, and a full pass to Gamescom. You've been before.
Yeah, I've been there plenty times. It's one of the most ridiculous conventions ever. If you happen to go, it's insane. It's massive. So you're not. If you don't get the trip, you're going to be really sad. But if you do get the trip, you and a buddy, you're going to have a good time. It's a fun time. Hopefully, I'll see you there.
Well, if you guys like Star Wars like we do and you guys want to play as your favorite heroes and villains, you guys can download Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes right now on Android or iOS. And you can
of course, they did a little plug for Galaxy of Heroes.
Today and many more. Paul, I also heard that you're making Battlefront 2 because you've been playing a lot of Galaxy of Heroes.
I play a ton of Galaxy of Heroes. I've played that game every day since it launched. I think I've actually spent about $1,000 in that game.
You have a problem.
I do have a problem.
Yeah,
but there's just so much Star Warsy goodness. I can't help it.
I got to pick it up. I have to play.
You should try it.
Yeah, I know my brother. He was going nuts about it, so I guess I have to make it happen.
Yeah, I was actually playing. I started playing in December, so around the holidays.
Can you?
That's pretty sad.
Can you be
$1,000?
Can you do any more offhand plugging for that game?
Battlefront2.com for more about the game. And see you guys soon. Thanks, Paul. Golden Boy. This was incredible. And now I'm going to send it over to Patrick for more.
I suck that game's dick like all day, every day.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you to the real rock stars of this show. The development teams inside EA. You are truly amazing. Now, we can't wait for more of you to play, and there's more coming. Stay tuned online for a closer look at some of our biggest game. And remember, EA Play is for all of you, our players. Thank you all for joining us. Now, let's play.
And the audio went out, but they're still showing Galaxy of Heroes. Like, should there be audio for this or no? I think that was the end of the conference. Sounded like it was over.
So.
What? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, it came back.
The audio.
Download for free today.
We're here in Hollywood,
yeah, that was the end of the conference, I'm
EA Play.
pretty sure.
We're here to talk to you today about
yeah, we're back at EA Play, so we're gonna mute that, and we'll come back, and now we'll start talking about what the hell that just was. Okay. Well, let's go backwards. Let's start with how it ended and work our way backwards.
Okay.
First of all, I can't believe there was absolutely nothing about the other Star Wars franchises whatsoever. Like last year, they were like, "Oh, Respawn's making a game. Oh, this company's making this. Oh, this is making." Like, where were the games? Why we focused on Battlefront 2, and that was it. We didn't show the VR experience. We didn't show anything.
Yeah,
So,
they talked about it. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, there's a vague sort of thing in the ether about upcoming technologies, and we're really excited about it." And now here's NBA.
yeah, I
was like, okay, I was excited about that for half a second.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't understand. Like, they talked a little bit. It's like the fact that they didn't talk about it means one of two things. Either they're playing their cards very close to the chest and they're not going to release anything until it comes out like at the end of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like next E3 they might be like, "Oh, these games." And they're all coming out, by the way, in Christmas of 2018, right? Rather than talk about the games that will be coming out in Christmas 2018 now, they might be waiting until next year to talk about them. I just thought something might have been close to being done. You know, like a February release or a March release of 2018. Like, why did we not talk about any of that? Clearly, those things are either not close to being done or they just weren't ready to show off anything. Like, we didn't even get I thought we would at least get like a cinematic trailer or something outside of Battlefront 2. So that's
Right.
a little disappointing that they really didn't have much to show off.
They are like still on the stream. They are still talking about something, but
this is all for EA Play. They were doing this earlier in the day too. This is a big event that they're doing. It's not particularly about the conference though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not the conference. It's just more. It's just more what they've been doing all day. So all the big things already were over and done with. So they showed off Battlefront 2. That was super cool. They didn't really talk about the story that much. I mean, we know a little bit about the story. Apparently, it's from the perspective of the Empire. We're playing as the villains in some capacity. Whether or not that means we're like good villains, I don't know. You know, but it's in some way we're talking about this imperial force, and it's led by this lady who we saw up on stage.
Right.
But they didn't show off any of that. So either they're not ready to talk about that, or they've already talked about everything that they can at this point. So there wasn't really any gameplay or trailers with that. It seems like it's going to be cool because Battlefront is bigger. It's going to have more content. That's really important because Battlefront 1 released very slim for a $60 price tag, and then they charged people a $50, $60 season pass for more content. And that was
sounds about right.
Ridiculous. And clearly, in order to get back with the fans and their customers, they're clearly trying to show, you know, this free model, which is funny because nothing else in EA has a free model. Everything else in EA right now is still very much the season pass mentality. So does this mean that we might see a future with EA with no more season passes? Does it mean that we will start seeing games as a service from them? I don't know. Square Enix talked about games as a service, so if Square Enix does well with it, maybe that means EA will make all their future games season pass free. I don't inherently have an issue with season passes. I just inherently have an issue with season passes that are clearly cash cows. You know, I mean, I paid for the season pass for several things, and I've been happy with them. So, I mean, it's not... I did not invest in the season pass for Battlefront. I have not played any of that content because it's clearly was a cash cow. It was clearly awfully designed from a business standpoint. Let's see. Then they showed off for Battlefront 2 the multiplayer and the systems involved with what's called what is it? Battle points? Is that what they called it? Like you get some sort of like points in game in a match, and then you can spend those points on becoming a hero or becoming
or buying vehicles or stuff like that.
special equipment. But it seems like it's, at least from what they showed, it seems like it's in match, right? It doesn't seem like it's something that carries from match to match. It's something that's specifically in the match you're in. So if you do well, you get better perks, which then changes the game, right? In some way. So that was pretty cool. What else? They showed off the fact that here's something. It seems like they're kind of going old school with this Battlefront, something like Battlefront 1 and 2 from the old days, where the maps are still open, but to some extent, but they're much more concise. You'll have choke points. You'll have, like, even Naboo, like the openness that they showed was still a little bit concise, right? Like you traveled between buildings and there were still choke points that could be made, and it wasn't like Battlefront 1, which every single map I think in Battlefront 1 was completely, oh look, you can headshot a guy from 200 meters away, and there was no fun. It was not fun because you couldn't even see your enemy before you got killed by him.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like they listened, at least for that map that they showed, they listened to fans in some way.
Mm-hmm.
They showed off class system. That's another old school thing. Like Battlefront 1 had no classes. It was very much like you could customize your character with weapons, and all the weapons were similar, and the abilities were similar, but you didn't have specifically a class. So it sounds like they're bringing classes back. You have assault, or you have support, or you have officers, and you are very much like, if you play as that class, you have clear, concise gameplay styles for that class. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then they showed off the 20v20 match, and that's where we saw some more of that. So that's about it for Battlefront 2. I don't really have too much to say about that. I don't know if you do. Do you have anything to say about Battlefront 2?
I was just hoping that the stream would be better quality, because I wasn't really able to tell like that much difference between, like, in terms of graphics, I guess.
Graphical fidelity.
Yeah, because
it looks the same as Battlefront 1. There was no difference from what I could tell.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's still beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't matter if it was like 720. Like the game still looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when it's the same thing I felt when I saw Battlefront 1 for the first time. I was like, it feels like you're in the movies. It feels like it's real. Like it feels real in some way.
Right.
Just before Battlefront 2, they talked about their charity campaign, the Play to Give campaign, where the He for She,
that was pretty cool.
the He for She organization, the Ditch the Label organization. I missed the third one. The third one was Ditch the Label. The first one was He for She. I missed the second one.
The bullying thing.
Bullying.
But yeah, but I've. Oh, okay. Will says he's still at work. He's waiting for a ride.
Yep. Okay. That's okay. Well, Will can join us tomorrow maybe, and we can talk a little bit. Talk to him about it a little bit, but it's cool. I like that they gave a moment to talk about inclusiveness. And granted, a cynical person might say, well, they wanted to cater to diversity for diversity's sake, right?
Well, I forget where exactly I had read it, but it was basically something that said that when a company does that, the only motivation they ever have for like saying anything about that sort of thing, it's always monetary.
To boost
So
sales, yeah.
they put in a very specific amount of money to just so they can put their name on something.
Now,
And,
I
but
don't
that
know.
is
I don't know. I don't know much about the
admittedly
play.
a very cynical person.
Well, that's a cynical thing to say. It is also true to some extent, right? But at the same time, it's really cool that EA is showing this campaign, and they're talking about something that is important to people, right? So while it is maybe to some extent about boosting sales, it's something that needs to be stated. Like, games are not just for dude bros, white dude bros, right? Like,
right.
It's important to show that. I mean, we're the only country that does that. Europe doesn't do that. Japan doesn't do that for the Asian market. It turns out girls and women and ethnic minorities want to play games too, and it's and it turns out that those people, like, there's been an old mentality for decades now of explicitly market to men, explicitly market to white men, explicitly market to heterosexual white men. Like, it turns out a lot of other people want to play games too, and you should market to them.
Boobs on this hot chick holding a gun.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. At the risk of sounding like a terrible... Never mind, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so it's really cool. Before that, they talked about... I'm going to pull up my notes here. We talked about NBA Live 18. It's not something that I particularly care about necessarily, but it's, again, there's a huge... Clearly, they spend all this time on sports because it sells. People in mass quantities keep buying these games yearly, right? And they spend full price on these games yearly. It's not something I speak to, but it's cool that people enjoy it, right? I mean, NBA Live 18, they talked about the fact that they have this new gameplay called The One. It gives you even greater ball control, gives you even greater player customization and experience. There's the Streets or League thing that they showed off, where one section influences the other section. They have different rules for each of those, different improvements on your character that you gain from the Streets or the League, and you can create a signature style for your character, and that's a really cool thing. I feel like every year, or at least every other year, they always show off some new thing, right? Like, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, EA showing off that whole, look at what you can do with your ball, with your stick, and how you can do all these different things with your ball control that you could never do before in an NBA game. So it's nice, at least it's not like Madden or FIFA, where they show things for Madden or FIFA, but they're never like dramatic game changers. It seems like for their NBA franchise, they're always trying to innovate.
Right.
And so that's cool. Just prior to NBA Live, they talked about... I don't know if you have anything to say about basketball. I don't know if you're a basketball person. I'm not a big basketball person, so...
About like the only time that I had been into basketball was when the Cavaliers were able to come back from 3 losses in a row.
Right.
And they won 4 games in a row to win the championship.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. But I mean, unless it's like something really spectacular, like that, I don't really care.
I'd say my experience with basketball and video gaming stems back to the olden days of the Genesis, so I prefer arcadey things like NBA Jam. Have you ever played like NBA Jam and things like that? Is my
you could,
experience.
Go up like 20 feet in the air and the ball was on fire, and then you would dunk it and there was a big explosion.
And that
was pretty cool.
PS3, I think during the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, they released a new NBA Jam, and a lot of people played it, from what I'm to understand. I mean, like, Yeah, I mean, there's clearly the experience for the realism people, and then but for me, it's if I play something, I want to play with a person, and I want it to be arcadey, like in the NBA Jam series or something. Before that, we talked about a new IP that will be shown off more in the Microsoft press conference, so I'm excited about that. It's the BioWare game. BioWare is making a game that doesn't necessarily seem to be RPG. I don't know. They showed off a trailer. It didn't show much of it. It's called Anthem, and all I really took from it, because there wasn't much to it, was the fact that there seemed to be some sort of like human-sized mech armor. Do you remember that? Like there's like a human-sized mech armor. It opened up and clearly like somebody's in like mechanized combat armor.
Yeah, the voiceover for it, she sounded really familiar. Like at first I thought it was Aisha Tyler, but then I was like, no, it doesn't sound like Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
But she sounded like relatively well known.
Yeah.
Maybe Rosario Dawson.
Maybe, I don't know. It didn't specifically say. I would have probably notated it if I had seen it. I did not see them specifically say. And again, it was one of those, I'm going to show you something, but it's not going to have any context or any substance. So they basically just showed us something that means nothing to me until I see it on Microsoft's press conference, right? So we'll see more of that, I think, on Microsoft's press conference.
Got a it says here, EA previously announced that Anthem will be an action-adventure title that will work as a live service, similar to how games like Destiny are run.
Oh.
It will launch sometime during EA's 2019 fiscal year.
Very cool.
But
by all means, keep searching for these things while I talk about them, because I only got what I got during the conference. So
it was previously known by the codename Dylan.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither.
That game, the new IP, I didn't see who's developing it. Oh, BioWare, that's right. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. Okay, so before that, they talked about 3 divisions of EA, the standard 2 that we already all know about, and then a new division called SEED, which stands for the Search for Extraordinary Experiences Division.
That sort of sounds like our channel. Except we have emergent experiences.
Yeah, we're about emergent experiences here. No, it seems like it's a small group. It's a small group that supposedly focuses on new tech and new experiences. I would imagine. I thought they were going to talk about VR there. I thought that was going to be the spot where they were going to start talking about VR. Apparently not. We went with Scorpio. So we still don't know what Scorpio is going to do for people. I don't know. It seems like it might be better than PlayStation Pro for one thing, but I don't really know much about Scorpio other than that it's essentially another is it an incremental step from Xbox One, or is it actually basically another full-size step? Is it basically the next iteration of Xbox?
If they could hit 4K 60 frames per second, for the majority of games, then I would definitely buy it.
Yeah, and Pro doesn't do that very well, right? Yeah. We know that Pro doesn't do that very well.
It's like 1440p, for most games.
Yeah.
There's, I bought Journey is 4K, and oh yeah, that's right. I saw Digital Foundry. They did a video on the new Wipeout that you can buy from the PlayStation Store, and that's I should actually go to Game Rankings and see what the score looks like, because
I played Wipeout. It's pretty good. I mean, it's great.
4K 60 frames per second.
Yeah, but that's an old game though. It's a remake. It's just a re-release, right, of the Wipeout that was on PS3. If I'm not mistaken, because they have not made a new Wipeout game. They have not made a new Wipeout game. That has to be a re-release from the PS3 Wipeout.
Yeah, it's let's see, Yeah, it's the Wipeout Omega Collection.
Yeah. That's cool.
But it's got a 87%.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, Wipeout's a great game. I own the PS3 version. It's a great game. All right, so before Seed, we talked about Hazelight, the developers behind Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. If you've never played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons,
it's an amazing game.
It is fucking awesome. Yeah.
I would totally plug that game.
Yeah, no, go buy Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons if you haven't played it. It's amazing. It's great. I think PS Plus got it for free a few months back, so if you still haven't played it and you had PS Plus, what are you doing with your life? Go play it.
And make sure that you have tissues, because you will cry.
They're making a third-person action co-op game. Now, if Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was symbolically co-op, right? You played it as a single person, but you controlled both of the characters with half your controller each. So it was like
a single player co-op game.
Yeah, it was really.
It was kind of mind blowing.
It was really cool. Yeah, they're making a third-person action co-op game called what's the name of it? A Way Out, and it seems like it's very much like a prison escape, and then like after the prison, but it's more than that. You don't just have like Shawshank Redemption prison escape. You also have like the story afterward, like the story of these two people who are attempting to avoid the law and continue some sort of criminal activity. I'm not sure. I didn't really get the complete gist of the story from it. It just seemed like it was very much a criminals on the run, very story focused with co-op partners helping each other. And the weird thing about the game is they said it's co-op only. You cannot play this as a single-player experience, which is very alienating and could be potentially disastrous, right, for people. They also said it's split screen only, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria, but didn't they say that even if you play online, it's still a split screen experience? Like you still see both characters split screened?
Yeah, it said that it was you could only play it as split screen.
Right. So
Either
even
it was like
either on couch or on multiplayer.
Yeah. Which like I'm not really sure how they would control like people just being morons.
Right.
Like if they wanted to join a game and just be like a complete asshole to you, be like, okay, well, we're not going to finish the story, and I'm just going to run around in a circle.
It seems like it's a game that you very much want to have a friend to play. You probably don't want random matchmaking. You probably want to make sure you play with a friend, no matter what. What's really cool about it is they showed the asymmetrical gameplay. While one person was in a cutscene, another person could be playing the game. So I'm really curious about this game. Like, it's clearly the studio developed Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Like, how big is this game? Is this game going to be like huge and like you have all these different things that could be happening at the same time, or is the game more like an indie release and it's going to be a tightly focused thing, right? Like things can only happen in this order with both of your characters, you know what I mean? Like, is it AAA level or is it indie level? And I don't mean that as a detriment to the game at all. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is amazing, and that's an indie game. It's a very tight focused game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is a AAA, but I'm just gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, because they had a Way Out. That's right. The one of the voice actors, like they did like a really detailed facial capture. I'm trying to think of what his name is. There we go. Okay.
So it's by Studio Hazelight, which I did not know the name of, but I did know that game, Brothers.
Yeah, it doesn't have that much information on it.
We'll
but
probably hear
it
more
does
about
seem
it.
Like it's,
We'll probably hear more about it when the show floor opens up, because the conferences are before the show floor opens up. So we'll probably hear more about it then. It's just really cool. Like I don't to my memory, I don't remember any game that is asymmetrical where like one person can be in like a cutscene and another person's actually playing the game, and then it switches back and forth. You know what I mean? Like I don't, to my knowledge, I don't know of any game that's tried that, and so it's different, and I approve of different. Different is nice. They showed your prediction, Need for Speed Payback. Need for Speed Payback seems to still be an arcade experience, but from what they showed, they didn't show any racing. It was all open world, mission, objective-based gameplay.
Yeah, trying to steal a fancy car from some bad people.
It seems like it pays homage to, you know, in film, like Gone in 60 Seconds, or the Driver movies, right? Is it Driver? No, not Driver. The what is it called? What are those movies with Jason Statham?
Oh, the Transporter.
The Transporter, yeah. It's something like, it seems like it's very much in the line of Gone in 60 Seconds or The Transporter for film. Or the Driver franchise. Remember the Driver franchise from PS1 era? PS2 era?
Vaguely.
I think like 10 years ago they released another Driver game called, it was just rebooted as Driver or something like that. Or Driver San Francisco or something. Yeah, it seemed, I don't know how much racing is in this game, because I didn't talk about racing, but it was very cool in the, like, seems very story focused, and that was pretty cool. They talked about how you can take your car that you find as scrap and turn it into an actual car, and then later on you can take that car and supercharge it and make it some sort of, I'm sorry about my lingo here, but like some sort of supercar. Like I don't know enough about cars to be like, you know, it's really into that. But it still seems cool because.
According to Wikipedia, the game is set to be released on November 10th, 2017.
Need for Speed.
It has 3 playable characters, who have different set of skills. The game will be focused on action driving, and will have the 3 main characters working together to pull off action movie-like sequences.
Does it say anything about multiplayer? Like, is there racing? Is there multiplayer experiences with the heists? Like,
it just says, unlike Need for Speed, Payback will have offline single player.
Okay.
But it doesn't say anything about multiplayer.
And we were talking about
the 23rd installment in the Need for Speed series.
Yeah, no, I was just about to. I'm just getting into that. We were talking about Criterion. Like, Criterion has not made Need for Speed in a while. Actually, I was incorrect. Like, Most Wanted and Hot Pursuit came out a long time ago. Now it's being developed by a studio called Ghost Games. They were the developers of the 2015 reboot of Need for Speed. The last game was just called Need for Speed, apparently, and it was a reboot of the Need for Speed franchise. This is the second game since the reboot, also made by Ghost Games. Prior to that, Ghost Games had only made 2013's Need for Speed Rivals. So Ghost Games have only made 3 games. Need for Speed Rival from 2013, the Need for Speed Reboot in 2015, and this game. So it sounds like Need for Speed is becoming a what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like every other year franchise?
Yeah. Like Call of Duty or...
Well, Call of Duty is every year, so I can't...
Oh, yeah.
It's annual.
What was the most recent?
Call of Duty? That was Infinite.
No. The most recent Need for Speed?
2015's Need for Speed, it was just called Need for Speed. It was a reboot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was also developed. You can see that you were talking about Criterion, and the fact that it looked like Burnout. You can see the genetic code of Criterion's franchise, right? Because Criterion made Burnout, and we know, that's all about the crashing and the cool cinematic effects. And then Criterion started working on the Need for Speed franchise, and that was back 8 years ago or something like that, 9-10 years ago, with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the remake, and Need for Speed Most Wanted, the remake. And they also started including the crashes and the cool effects. So Ghost Games is clearly sticking with that identity that Criterion started with, right? With you could see the cool crashes and the cinematic wipeouts, right?
Yeah, the most recent Need for Speed, it has like a 61 to 65% on game rankings.
So that means it's okay, probably. That means it's probably okay. Just before that, okay, so that was called Need for Speed Payback. Then that's where we started talking about Peter Moore. They made the joke about Peter Moore going to Sony because that's what we were talking about earlier. Peter Moore, the guy who was basically the face of EA. He went to Studio Liverpool, which is a Sony first-party studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. Why would you go from a publishing giant like EA in a department that's a publishing arm? Why would you go from that to necessarily a game development studio? I don't know, but I'm interested to see what he comes out of Studio Liverpool. We learned a lot about FIFA. We're almost to the beginning of the conference. We learned a lot about FIFA. They spent 15 minutes on FIFA. Like, 15 minutes of the entire conference was FIFA. Granted, they spent about 20 to 25 on Battlefront, but I don't care about FIFA.
Yeah,
kudos to those that do. I don't. I know it's a big franchise in Europe. I know it's becoming a big franchise here in the States.
Last soccer game that I played was Winning 11 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. FIFA is a great game from what I hear. It does way better than Pro Evo Soccer from Square Enix, and Pro Evo Soccer has been shit on the last 2 years by the PC community. Like, both years of the PC versions of Pro Evo Soccer have been so bad. Don't even look at reviews or whatever from Pro... Don't look at Steam... Do not look at Steam reviews for Pro Evo Soccer. It will make you very sad for those developers, because they have been shit on for that game. And
these developers are worse than Hitler.
Yeah. But FIFA, they talked about FIFA. The fact that FIFA... They really focus on esports, actually. Like, it's... I enjoy esports.
And,
I've just recently started getting into esports. The only esports I've really started watching at all are Counter-Strike Go. I've seen a little bit of Dota. But really, all I focused on maybe Counter-Strike Go and something else. I can't remember the name. I can't remember offhand what it is, but it's really cool that they were, like, they obviously know what's becoming popular. Esports are becoming very popular, so it was neat of them to kind of focus on that. And they started with focusing on the FIFA World Cup competitive championships, and they focused a little bit on the esports of FIFA and Madden, but Madden was barely mentioned there. And then they spent 15 minutes talking about FIFA, and the Men in Blazers came out, which I don't know who Men in Blazers are, but apparently they're big in the FIFA community, so they seemed interesting, but they were at least more interesting than some of the other people that came up on stage talking about FIFA. But they clearly spoke to football fans, right? So EA clearly is trying to reach that core audience of sports game fans that keep buying their games every year for $60 a pop. I clearly was wrong, by the way, in my assertion that they might go sports games as a service. They're just going to keep selling $60 games every year, and tons of people are apparently still going to buy them. I mean, why mess with what works, right?
Exactly. If people are going to keep on paying for it, then
yeah,
why would you switch to something else?
And you find the $10, you find every year, all the years before, in the $10 bargain bin at GameStop. Can't tell you how many times I see, like, multiple copies of every sports game from every year in the bargain bin. Again, I don't want to trash people who like those games. They seem... If I wanted to get into sports games, I would probably, I'd probably buy one. I used to buy one every few years. I used to play a Madden game every few years. I used to play a baseball game every few years. So, I mean, but I wouldn't buy them yearly myself. But if you have the income and you dig that kind of experience, good on you. Prior to that, they talked about Battlefront 1. That was the first thing that's the first thing they began with, Battlefront 1. They had a lot of Twitch streamers, like you said, talking about Battlefront 1. Again, talking about the things that are popular, right? Clearly, people like Twitch streamers. People like talking about, there are streamers who specifically only play Battlefront, right? There are Twitch streamers that only play Battlefield. There are Twitch streamers that only play PUBG, and people really dig those people. And it seems like for Battlefield 1, they're going to continue supporting it. They're going to continue talking about the community, and I think the community is a little toxic, but that's my opinion. I can't go through a game without somebody shouting, obscenities that I won't say here on stream. The N-word, the F-word, in terms of not F-U-C-K, the other F word.
But what? Not sure if there are like very good online communities for like a specific game.
There are a few. I can't remember any off the top of my head, but like there are a few genuinely good communities, and they're usually for more niche games, not big, AAA titles like Call of Duty or Battlefield or Battlefront or anything like that.
Yeah, because as soon as you get popular enough, then invariably you will end up with a lot of the people that are like in the video right now that keep on mass spamming dicks and like ASCII of dicks and ASCIIs of swastikas and
yeah. Oh, I'll tell you a great community, a fantastic community. Rocket League. Rocket League has one of the best communities I've ever seen, and they still and the developer is not even talking about Rocket League 2. It's all about continuing to support that game and that community, because they actually said in a recent thing that I read or saw, they don't want to divide their fan base. Why make a Rocket League 2 and try to separate your fan base, of the people who don't want to move on to the new one and want to stay on the old one? And, why, like, what can they bring to the table with a Rocket League 2? Like, what makes it different, right? That people always ask those questions when you make a sequel. So rather than make a sequel, they're just gonna, make good shit with the stuff that they already have. So, and that's a great community. I hardly ever see anyone being assholes in the Rocket League community.
I think like part of that comes from the attitude of the developers, because they're like just such good people that they just they come out with so much content, so many new game modes that are for free. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen them like they'll charge for cosmetics, but as far as like game modes, I don't think that they've charged for that really. Like there was some new game mode that recently, or it was like where you would have to control like different squares, and then if you controlled enough of the map, then that would open up. And so if you got the ball into that opening, then you would score a point.
Oh yeah.
I forget what that was called, but I'm pretty sure that was for free too. So
yeah, I mean it was super interesting. Before we get off of Battlefield, the only thing I want to say is they did mention, I almost missed it here in my notes, they did mention a new competitive Battlefield experience. They didn't give any information on it really, and so my question is it a new game? Like, are they doing another annual Battlefield game? Because you remember like at the very end they were like, we're gonna have this for people who want this concise, competitive, special Battlefield experience. Look for information later, but like, is it a separate game? Is it part of Battlefield 1? Like, what? Like, that was the most confusing thing I think they could have thrown in there. Like, they gave no information about it, and they didn't make it even sound like it was, whether it's a separate product. Or, like, you remember, like, for Battlefield 4, like, a year later, they were like, now we have Battlefield Hardline, and it's a completely different thing. It's cops and robbers. Like, is that what this is gonna be? Like, I don't get it. EA, make fucking sense when you say words, okay? Like,
that's the good thing about the term Battlefield is that it can be applied to pretty much anything. Like, it can be a battlefield. Like, is this a battlefield in a war, or is this a battlefield with like SWAT or kidnappers?
Is it a fucking mobile game? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't see how that would be a great competitive, concise experience. But you can't just leave us.
Battlefield Mobile.
By the way,
Battlefield RPG.
By the way, if they implemented it right, I still say that they should keep some form of commander mode in the future Battlefield games. Battlefield 4 brought back commander mode, but it was so shittily implemented that nobody used it, or nobody used it correctly. Like, I remember that. Like, Battlefield 4 came out, and they were like, not only can you be in-game as a commander, but if you're on the go, you can use your iPad, or your Android tablet, or your computer, and you can play Battlefield as a commander while not in the game. And, like, it was a cool thing, but, like, it was so poorly implemented, and nobody ever listened. Like, you have to incentivize your community to listen to the commander. Like, I still play Battlefield 1 today, and as the squad leader, I tell people to do things, and they just fuck off and do something else. Like, you gotta give an incentive for people to work together and do what they're supposed to do.
Oh, I did. Now that I'm watching, like, what EA is showing, the stuff with FIFA,
Yeah.
like how they got to Ronaldo to do the motion capture for it. I thought that was genuinely cool.
It is.
Instead of getting like some random person who is pretty good at soccer.
They do that with a lot of their games, though. Like, every year they show off the motion capture. Like, last year or 2 years ago, it was the NBA game. They were showing off the motion capture for that NBA Live. So, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. It's just something we've seen before.
Oh, okay.
Overall, I would rank EA's conference at a 6. Like, I would call it okay. I wouldn't call it good or great. I think they spent too much time on Battlefront. I know, me loving Star Wars, I felt like they spent too much time on Battlefront. I feel like they spent just the right amount of time on their sports franchises to, you know, help with the people who like the sports things. They should have had more games. Like, they had, even at the beginning, he was like, we have 8 things we're going to show you. They spent 2 hours showing off 8 things. Like, it would have been real nice if they had something better to show. But I'd rank it a 6. What would you say? 6 out of 10 for me. But
yeah, I think that's pretty good. Like, didn't seem like anything like that shocking or important or surprising.
They even managed to make Battlefront.
Conference.
They even managed to make Battlefront, which is coming out in 3 months or 6. Wait, is it 3 months? 4 months? They even managed to make that game seem meh. I mean, not meh, but they didn't surprise us. Like you said, they didn't surprise us with anything, right? They just showed off a multiplayer map, gameplay, but they didn't talk about the game really that much. It was cool that they showed the what do you call them? The game changers. Is that what they call them? The people who they're inviting people to their offices to play the game early, and like give them feedback as they're playing. But how is that really any different than paid? Isn't that just really like a free version of labor compared to like game testers? Like,
Yeah,
isn't
I'm
that what game
hoping
testers
that
do?
they did pay these people, because if they didn't pay them, then like basically they're like glorified interns, because that would be like free advertising for their Twitch channels.
Yeah.
Like, hey, hey, you guys, I'm working with this developer, but they're not paying me, but I get to
Yeah.
play the game. So.
Oh, hey, Will. I'm sorry I missed you. Yeah, no, it's maybe it's different because like to be a game tester, you have to go through the rigmarole of being employed and all that stuff, right? So it might be cool as a fan, and if you just happen to live near their offices, it's really cool as a fan to be able to go into their offices and just play their games and give them feedback. I don't have any inherent problems with that, but it's just like it's like, to me it seems like you said, it's a glorified internship almost, except you don't actually get referenced as a tester, right? Are these people that are game changers going to be in the credits? Like, you know what I mean? Like, as an employee, don't you get put in the game credits?
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Yeah, all these people who really love Hitler, yeah. and dicks. They love Hitler and dicks.
Yeah.
They may like Hitler's dick. Anyway, yeah, this was, by the way, this was a great thing. I think we're gonna keep doing this for the rest of the conference week.
Pretty fun.
I would love to do something similar to this as a podcast for daily news or weekly news. That'd be cool. But, yeah, this was great. We went way past a half hour, I think, past the conference, but we had a lot to talk about. EA had a lot of good stuff to share. And so tomorrow, now the only thing I'm concerned about is I think it's tomorrow is the day I'm concerned about. I will not be here for Microsoft's conference. Will anyone else be here?
I will.
To cover Microsoft.
I'm going to be off for like till Wednesday, actually. So I will be able to watch all of the conferences.
Okay, so just do what I did, which is create a scene and like have all the stuff that's in it, and basically just all you're going to be doing is doing a window capture. That's all I did. I did a window capture of the YouTube stream. So find out where the source stream is going to be. I assume Microsoft's will be on Microsoft's YouTube channel. Not sure. And then you just put the cameras on top of it. So if Will's going to be here, both of you can stream it and talk about Microsoft's conference. Be nice to the Microsoft people, even if you don't care. God. Like, let's be fair. I don't know if you've seen the last few Microsoft conferences. They've been good. Last year's Microsoft conference was good. The year before that Microsoft conference was good. They're not the awful human beings that everyone seems to think that they sometimes are.
I'm still salty about the always online DRM.
Well, they're not doing that. I will say that I would be very interested if Microsoft did continue with that plan, because at least it would be different, right? Like, they at least portrayed it as being something new and different, and like, they may have burned and failed miserably, but at least it would have been like, it wouldn't have been PlayStation 4 2.7, right? Like, the Xbox One is, I'm sorry if you have an Xbox console, but to me, like, the Xbox One is essentially the PS4 0.7. Like, it's not, it's like, it's not as good, but it's kind of the same, but it's not as good. So, I mean, like,
the PlayStation also has much better exclusives, or better and more exclusives.
I wouldn't necessarily say that either, because, like, at least Microsoft went last year and the year before with the whole, like, we are going to put all these games on Windows as well. Like, Microsoft is making a platform, right? And that's important. It's important to build a platform. Because that's the only thing they have going for them now, right? They don't have the powerhouse that PS4 has right now. So they need to push their franchises as a platform. If you buy it, remember, like, they did this whole thing that PlayStation doesn't do, where you can play your old games for free. Like, that is really cool. It's really cool that, like, if you own on 360 Banjo-Kazooie, you can play Banjo-Kazooie again on your Xbox One, and it doesn't cost you any money. Like, it's backwards compatibility. PS4 is not backwards compatible except for through PlayStation Now. So Microsoft offers a great way for backwards compatible software to be played on their system, and it's completely free. We got to give Microsoft credit for the things that they do correctly, and like that's really cool to be able to play your games. So if Will is here with you, because I work tomorrow, you all can do I posted the schedule on our Facebook. I think it's, you said 2 p.m. Pacific time, so 3 p.m. Eastern time.
No, it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it's going to be 4 my time.
Oh, I saw you post something in chat there. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, that's the Pacific time, and like today it started at 12, but my time it was 2. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But I think it maybe if Will could stream it, and I could we could just do Discord and Skype.
You all can work that out. It's really easy. All you got to do is make sure you have a window capture, and window capture the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel that's showing it. I think it's going to be easier on YouTube. I think it's probably going to be on Microsoft's YouTube channel, probably. But I will be here for every conference after that. I just won't be at this location. I will be doing it mobile on my laptop. So, but I will still, well, that's the question. If I'm not going to be here at the house, how shitty is my internet connection going to be? We might have problems. I'll figure that out, though. We will figure that out before the stream on Monday. Microsoft is the only one streaming tomorrow, right? Or am I incorrect?
I think it's actually a couple.
Let me go to our page. I posted it on our page.
It's Microsoft at 2, and then Bethesda at 9, and then Devolver Digital at 10.
Oh,
so it's
Lord.
going to be going on for quite a while.
Okay, so that means, Bethesda's conference is at midnight our time, Eastern Standard Time, and it is at 1 a.m. our time. Holy crap. Alright, so we'll still be there for them. I will, anyway. For sure. And we'll do a pre-show a half hour before, and do a post-show a half hour after. But anyways, Microsoft, that was a decent start to the E3 Expo. And Microsoft, I think, will hopefully hit it home tomorrow. And Bethesda, who knows? Maybe Bethesda, I don't know why Bethesda wants to do a conference this year. Maybe there's gonna be an Elder Scrolls 6. I don't, I mean, I know they publish, right? Bethesda publishes things, so they'll probably talk about their first-party studios publishing their games, but anyway, everyone have a good night. We will see you tomorrow for Microsoft's conference. Bye.
A good day.
Good day. Good night. Good afternoon.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care, everyone.